Hey guys, it's PhoenixAnime, or as you know from the podcast, Ryan. So before we get into today's podcast, know that this is the first time we had a guest on the podcast. We were unsure how we would do dual audio, and unfortunately it's come out very echoey, and we're still going to upload it. It's such a good episode, we don't want to lose it. I wish there was a way we could fix it. Unfortunately there isn't. If you have any ways to suggest how to fix it, I will gladly take it down and edit it myself to make sure it's put up properly. But yeah, I hope you enjoy, and let's get on with the podcast. See you there.
Welcome back, everyone, to the next episode of Phoenix Cast.
Yeah.
I realise I didn't call you pals and gals this time, but you know what? It's getting a bit much for me. We're having a break this week. So today I am once again joined by the beautiful Ryan Cross.
Oh, thank you.
I'd do it.
Well, that's fair. That's a fair assumption to say. And I'm also joined today by the first guest we've had, Stephen.
Do you want
Hello.
to say your last name?
No.
No?
I like the whole secret identity thing being online.
Okay, cool.
Well, I suppose it's fitting we're probably going to talk about superheroes at some point in this podcast.
No.
No,
I haven't got any say in it.
Well,
Shockingly.
we will because I have a say in it. But I'm just saying that. So today's topic is going to be anime related again, and it's going to be what our favourite anime is.
I want to point out, you did say anime and not manga. And for listeners, those are very different things for me.
They are for me as well.
Massive nerd.
Yeah, they're completely different for me too. I'm just going to throw this out there. Favourite manga, Naruto. One of my
Actually on my list.
least enjoyable anime is Naruto. So there we go. It's
That's
two
exactly
different things.
what I've got.
Yeah.
Too.
I know we talked about that because I said the fillers weren't that. What were the problem with Naruto? You just didn't like it at all.
I didn't like the fillers. That was one issue I had, and the animation was just so sloppy. And I felt like it was. Most of it was sloppy. There were points where they picked it up.
It got sloppy with the pain fight, specifically when he gets punched and then his face fucking morphs over the
The
fist.
thing is, that's not the first time that's happened. The first time that happens is in original Naruto.
Yeah,
when-
Sasuke.
Naruto vs Sasuke.
Yeah.
I think they were trying to copy that,
You
but
think?
overdid it. Because I don't think it's sloppy animation or bad animation.
Yeah.
It's just they were trying to do something and took it too far.
Yeah, I guess.
But as I was going to say, I've got 4 favourites and 4 least favourites. We probably won't cover them all.
If we make it to least favourites, then we'll go into
Naruto's
that.
on my favourites and Naruto Shippuden's on my least favourites. So
Oh, okay. Original Naruto, I've still never watched. I've read it and played the games.
I
but
watched one arc over and over and
obviously
over
I've watched a little.
because it was on Jetix and it just never ever finished the Gaara fight.
Yeah, I remember you always used to say, "It's like I just want to see past the Gaara fight."
But the opening was cool, so there was that.
I probably hate that by now.
One anime I'm going to throw in there. By the way, I'm not going to have much input here. I don't really watch anime that much. I watch mainstream mostly, but
Using me for the good recommendations. You remember Cabaneri?
Cabaneri
You did watch that, didn't you?
of the Iron Fortress.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was really good actually.
Yeah, it
I
was really
enjoyed
good
that.
Yeah.
One in there. Shaman King. I'm throwing it in there.
Good lad. Good lad.
I haven't watched that, but I've read it.
I haven't
twice.
watched it, but I've read it. Read most of it.
Didn't you have up to 12? You had more
17.
than me. You're up to 17.
No.
Oh,
Maybe.
you've read up to 17.
No, I think I've got up to 17, but
swear
I'm
when I
missing one.
When I started reading them, I swear he only had up to a horror fight.
I did. I
Then
went
at some point you bought more. And
I went to Birmingham and was like, Shaman King.
Yeah, and you literally can't get them anymore.
I'm selling all my Shaman
Don't surprise
Kings.
me.
So.
Well, you should, because
You can get them from Scott.
you can get one to however many he's got.
I think there's 30.
If you sell your battle royales,
I am, but I'm selling.
I want them.
Seriously?
£3 a book. I'm selling them for.
Yeah, I'll have them.
Do you guys swear on this?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can swear.
Good. So I've
Does no.
Right, let's make this clear. I want those fucking battle royales, man. Book 3 and what was the other book?
Book 8.
Book 8.
I
Yeah.
remember where the hentai was.
yeah, because you did it at school.
Yeah, okay, funny story. Because, you know what, we don't really have story time very often on these podcasts. So, funny story. I was lending these Battle Royale manga volumes. I know this is meant to be an anime podcast, but it's a good story, so I'm not passing it up. I was lending them to a friend in school, and they happened to have read up to book 8. So that was the one I was lending next. and we were watching a movie in class in high school, and it was very boring.
Oh, I've heard this story.
So I pulled out Battle Royale, and bear in mind the dodgy stuff. Well, okay, there's murder and stuff, but like the sexual stuff is at the back, like the last few pages. That's it. And I was reading it from the front. But as we know, manga is backwards. It's like, right to left, all Japanese and stuff. And the teacher did not know that, so they thought, I wonder what he's reading, because I got it confiscated, obviously. And they opened to the back of the book straight away. It didn't end well for me.
So well for us, because we got a great story from it.
Yeah, I suppose. They told my parents I was bringing porn to school. And my parents had to give permission for me to get it back.
Oh.
So that was something to explain.
Oh. There was one time in my high school where I bought a Yu-Gi-Oh in, and they were like, "Who's your favourite artist?" And I was like, "Kazuki Takahashi."
To be fair, at one point I was like, my favourite artist is Kentaro Yabuki.
Yeah.
No contest.
The looks you'd get though from like middle school, and people go like, "What the fuck is he on about?"
Oh no, yeah.
Black Cat is actually my least favourite anime.
I've got to agree, it is down there.
The manga
least
would be my
favourite.
favourite.
You can't be
Anime.
selling your black cats.
No, that's one I'm keeping.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Sure, yeah.
I'm selling my dot hack.
Oh, I don't.
I'm selling my like accelerator and.
See, this is where I'm interested, because anything that I feel like I want, I'm gonna
I-
fucking go for.
Okay, I'll tell you what I'm
Dot hack,
keeping,
don't
because
I?
it's a much shorter one.
Yeah, that is kind
Because
of.
I got
true.
it from, I don't know if we're allowed
Possibly.
to say her name, but our mutual friend. I'm pretty sure she gave me hers, and now I'm like, I don't need yours.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm
We
selling
do- we
my
do-
If you
freelancer.
can confirm that. 'cause
Just,
you were
just
there.
for future reference, we do kind of say like our friends, and if we feel like they wouldn't
Yeah, but
mind,
she
we
might
will
not wanna
say.
be-
But
she- I don't know.
Yeah,
for
that's
that
what I'm
reason, yeah, we'll
Um,
keep names out.
Okay,
As I said,
so
I like
the
to
ones,
secret
the
identity.
only ones I'm keeping is Academia,
Good man.
Naruto,
Mm-hmm.
Good man.
Bleach,
Good man.
Bleachu,
Cat.
One Piece.
Good man.
and Fairy Tail.
Good man.
That's it.
Yeah, if you go to Fairy Tail,
So I'm
they have
getting
to
rid of
disown you.
Inadoki, Kimi ni Todoke. Yeah, I know.
I'm
Oh,
trying-
obviously my Kingdom Hearts, but I count that as like my Kingdom Hearts
Yeah,
collectibles,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that's never going anywhere.
I gasped.
Damn!
I haven't read Kimi in so long.
I just wasn't.
Over years now.
I don't even think I've finished all the ones I bought, and I just know I'm never going to complete it. So.
In the words of the old guy from Jurassic Park, when you said you were keeping your Kingdom Hearts, damn.
Tokyo Ghoul's going. I've got one book of that.
Yeah.
I've got 3 and 4 of Missions of Love, which
Oh,
That was
yeah.
that was actually a really
That was
good
good.
manga.
it was
to be
good,
fair.
yeah. But
I think it took so long to come out that I stopped reading it, but it was really good.
Yeah.
yeah, it was. It was.
What was the,
interesting.
I've always been upset that High School of the Dead never carried on.
You know, I was reading that.
The
way
author
before you
apparently
guys-
died.
Did he?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's never happening. Season 2's not happening. The manga's not continuing.
So let's segue this back to anime. That was a good anime, wasn't it?
Well, the thing is, I was reading that
It was up
like back in high school, and nobody knew what it was. Then it came out to me anime, and everyone's going nuts over it. I'm like,
yeah, but that's the thing. Like anime, like it or hate it, is way more.
It was the
popular
same
than
with
manga.
Twilight, though, if you think about it. Like, no one really knew the books that well, and then
Well,
the
we were
films
reading
came
them in
out.
high school, but
yeah,
that was
we were
because
reading in high school.
when Twilight, the first movie, got announced,
Mhm.
all the girls were going so crazy for it. Me and Steve were like,
We have to know what's going on.
what's going on here? I think I borrowed them off Liz.
Probably. I bought them, read them all. Like I buy them after school, read them.
Oh
same
no,
day.
no. Liz told us about it. You bought them and I borrowed them off you.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
But no, like same thing happened with One Punch Man, My Hero Academia. I'm always ahead in my manga. And then,
To
like,
be fair,
years later, it comes out in the anime.
that's because you spend all your time reading manga.
I don't actually.
Like if you well, not anymore, no, because you're in uni, but before.
No, I still read whenever I get a chance. I just
But
usually
then,
have a shit
whereas with us,
But then it's the same. I get friends who
With-
are like, "Oh, well, I read the Divergent series before it became films," and I was like, "I didn't even know it existed until it was a film." It's
and
con-
Yeah.
I didn't
sort of
even
the
wanna
same
watch
thing.
on. From the trailers, it made it sound like they were bigging up the fact that she was, courageous. It's like being brave isn't a superpower. What are you doing?
It's the lack of fear rather than the
It's
being brave.
It still seems
Mm.
like a weird thing to.
It's like they're not scared of anything, so they're kind of unstoppable. Like fear holds people back, is what it's saying. But fear is a human trait. That it's kind of just saying it is sort of a superpower. Sort of. It depends how you use it.
I don't know. I feel like maybe I read too much.
It only fits in with the tone of the story.
We
like
still
the
going on
same-
about Divergent.
Yeah.
Okay,
we're
so
gonna move away
swinging
from
this
that.
back to things that are human or not human. Parasite was a good anime, wasn't it?
No,
Oh, really?
no, it was until the last couple of episodes.
Guess what? I read that years before the anime.
All right, this isn't an elitist chat. We don't care whether you've read something.
I'm not being elitist. It's just it keeps happening. It's a recurring theme.
You're saying you're not being elitist, but you're being very how do you say it? I read that before. Okay, hipster. Stop being hipster. You're not an anime hipster. Stop it.
I knew it before it was cool.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I just wish people would keep.
To
up
be
with
fair
it.
to you, right? Okay. Before Academia became an anime, when it got announced as an anime, I read the first season,
Yeah.
the first 2 volumes.
Listening to
I borrowed them off you.
No, you were reading the. No,
Yeah, I read the
I was
first 2
about to
books.
say you were reading it. It's the Dragon Ball soundtrack, but it's the other way around.
I was reading Dragon Ball, listening to the Academia soundtrack.
Yeah.
And look, I'll say it made Dragon Ball freaking enjoyable.
There's an anime that's shit. Dragon Ball Z. Because technically,
Controversial.
it is actually shit if you really think about it.
No, it is terrible.
Yeah, but considering it was like literally 1 or 2, like it was happening. Like, the manga was like 1 or 2 issues ahead of the anime, so they really had to slow down the anime in order to.
I know,
keep
but
up.
they should have just took a hiatus
Yeah,
instead
they should
of
have done a
screaming for an episode. or
Basically,
something. Even a filler, yeah. Even
Do a
thing.
fairy tale and take a year off,
Yeah.
and then make
Let
the
it
art
catch
style
up
a
and
bit shitter. Because that
Yeah.
annoyed me.
Oh, I'm looking forward to. Is it next month? Fairy Tale.
Yes.
I think Fairy Tail 2014, the animation was
Are
a
you-
lot worse.
Are you
Oh, it
kidding?
was fucking
Yeah.
Are you
terrible.
kidding me? It's next month.
It's close. It's very close.
I know it was near the end of this year.
Like,
Fairy Tale's anime.
I
coming
love
out.
Fairy Tail so much when I finished 2014. I went straight to the manga. And then I messaged
I wanted to
Steve.
collect it all to read it, and I just couldn't afford it. But
I have it all now.
I've been meaning to binge the anime again because it's been so long.
oh man, the cliffhanger was what END is. I don't want to say it. Is it a spoiler? Because technically that's the
spoiler.
latest point. So like people want.
All right, so do you want to say it or
I'd
do you want to
probably
just avoid it?
for now?
I'll avoid it. But
Okay.
END is a thing in Fairy Tale that you kind of hear about. You find out what that means in the last episode, and it's like holy shit. And now we had to wait like how long? Like a year or 2.
It's the spoiler warning. It's extra nuggets, dude. That's all he wants.
Cool.
He wants some extra nuggets.
Honestly, me and Ryan could probably do an entire podcast on our opinions of the finale.
We could actually, but considering the anime's coming out, we could always just do a
Yeah,
opinion
we'll
when.
wait and do it at the
Yeah.
end. And
Okay.
if
And then that would be
it's
great
filler-
because we have context of the manga, so we could actually say which parts we liked. In
Yeah.
the
well, to
anime
be fair,
compared-
as soon as the anime finishes, I'm going to read all the manga anyway. So
yeah, true.
But, like our opinions on the ending are completely different. So
They
that'd
are
be-
actually. They're
that
kind
could
of the
be a good
opposite.
Oh, they-
conversation.
Yeah.
okay, fair enough. I look forward to hearing that. I mean, I imagine I'll side with Ryan because I normally have similar opinions
Probably.
on anime to him.
Yeah.
But
Me, always.
you're just you're a very
thoughts.
you're a very pessimistic man,
I'm
Stephen.
not pessimistic.
I just look for the negativity in everything.
I analyse things. I'm an aspiring author. I look at things differently.
All right.
I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. Yet,
Right.
But
See,
Your-
for me,
Your list. Shh. Your list, please. I want to hear some of this.
Yeah,
now.
favourites or least favourites?
favourites.
Let's go with favorites.
I know we've talked a lot about like bad anime and manga, but this is meant to be favourite anime, so
Cool.
let's do it.
I'll list them first.
Mm-hmm. Sugoi.
No, okay, you know what? I haven't written these in order, but I will save them in order.
Okay, so
Okay.
this is in your personal top 4. Is it 4 you
Anime,
said?
yeah.
Yeah. Are
Yeah.
we doing top 4? Do you want to add another one in and just make it like a top 5 list?
I just put the first ones I thought, like
Okay.
the ones that, because you know if it's good enough, it sticks with you.
Yeah,
These are the ones that stick with me.
Okay, so go through it. If you feel like there's a 5th by the end, add it in, because I could probably do 5.
I'd have to say my favourite is Hunter x Hunter 2011.
Right, okay. I enjoyed what I watched of
Is that the one that's actually following the manga?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because I know there was one before that, wasn't there,
Yes.
where it didn't
Uh,
follow at all.
1998.
Man, they did that a lot, didn't they? Because
the
Full
art
Metal,
was-
Full Metal was the same,
Was
wasn't it?
that the manga?
Yeah.
Or was that the anime where the animation or the art or something would just go terrible randomly in Hunter x Hunter? Was that the,
The manga,
original?
the art would suddenly there'd be like a chapter where everything's really sketchy and weird.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but he's been ill.
Yeah.
But yeah, if a manga and anime released in the same year,
Mm.
like 1998, and so they had a lot of filler just to let the manga get ahead.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on a sec. We're just going to do it. So when you speak, do that, yeah?
Okay, sure.
Technical difficulties.
It's
I
not.
wish
really
I could
technical.
like hum.
I'm not even going to edit it out. I assume I'd probably be
Yeah, you should-
editing
well,
this
Yeah,
one.
no,
I did-
there's nothing wrong with it. I just wanted to like hum like remember on really old like BBC when they had technical difficulties. It came up with that girl with like the mosaic.
Oh,
she
yeah.
was just stood by a chalkboard.
I don't remember
What
that.
the hell is
Sorry,
this?
completely off topic, but I forgot to tell you on the BBC yesterday they were advertising the Logan Paul KSI fight.
Yeah, I've been
That was
seeing a lot
fucking
of-
weird.
See,
I was like,
YouTube's
whoa.
have like-
Changed. Wow.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of real because KSI wants to become like a professional boxer. He wants to leave the
Yeah.
whole YouTube scene and go into the professional boxing.
And a
world.
rapper.
I'm not sure if this is rumor. I just want to say this before we go back to Steve's. I want to say something about Hunter x Hunter myself. I'm not sure if this is a rumor or it was said by him. I can't remember. But Logan Paul said something about his next fight after KSI if he wins. Conor McGregor.
Fuck
Not
off.
joking.
Fuck
I swear
off.
to God.
What, is that in UFC or boxing?
UFC.
Fuck off. He'll be destroyed. Is that a joke?
Yeah, he'd die.
Who
I
wants
don't
to
know
see
if
it?
that. I don't know if that.
I fucking do.
I don't know if that was a rumor or if it was him like trying
Oh,
to.
I
Big
bet that
himself
was a
up.
joke. I bet it was a joke.
It could have even been him.
And even so, he would do it for. I think he'd do it for the money. Because
Yeah, of
just
course
think
he
about
would.
how much they get paid just to do that.
Yeah, but the thing is, I honestly think do you know what? This is a thing for another day.
Yeah,
I
it's a-
wouldn't even mind doing a podcast on the fight after it's happened tonight.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't mind.
So yeah, we are recording this on the 25th, so it's going to be a good night. But
My
anyway,
windows are being washed today.
It shows who gives a fuck about this fight.
whoa, adult life.
Right. Leave it
Okay.
for now.
Yeah,
Hunter.
Hunter. Right.
Yes.
So carry on with yours. What you were saying about it.
Well, I'll move on to that
Is
after
that
I've
it?
listed, or do you want me to?
I wouldn't
Say
mind
what-
discussing them real quick as we go
Okay.
through.
Well,
Just try to avoid a bit of spoilers because I do actually want to watch
Yeah,
Hunter x Hunter.
I've got
I'm
no
not
spoilers.
very far. I'm at the part where they're going through that place.
You're watching it with me.
Yeah.
I know the
watched it.
guy is called Gom. That's
Freaks.
it.
Yeah.
Just wait till you see his dad's name. But no,
Gom Father.
That is the best fucking fun I've ever heard.
it reminds me of that Naruto meme. It's like it'll be like people calling Naruto Boruto's dad. So it'll be like Sasuke, Boruto's dad.
Yeah.
But no, okay, back on track.
That's not. I don't even think that's what he meant. I think he meant like gone farther, as in farther away. Did you
Oh,
not think of
if
that
you
part?
want to mean
No,
it in both
well,
ways,
it's
they both work either
So,
way.
yeah.
But no, back on track. I've got to stop getting.
Yeah.
Welcome to Phoenix, guys.
Okay, no. What I like about it is I've heard the storyboarding in the original was better,
Yeah.
but that doesn't change the fact that the animation is beautiful.
Hmm.
So that's a treat to watch, and it's incredibly loyal to the original manga, which I always think of as being very important.
Yeah.
Mainly
Well,
because I tend to read and watch them both.
yes and no. I think that's where our opinion can change. I'm happy with a manga and an anime being completely different, as long as they're both enjoyable.
Can I throw something in here? Because I don't think this is spoiled, to be honest, because it is to do with the last arc in the anime Fairy Tail. And I know I've discussed this with the both of you. There's a way to do it, in a way, like that remains favourable for the manga, but also to the man who created it. So in the most recent arc in the Fairy Tail anime, Laxus has a fight.
Yeah.
But in the manga, even the guy said, I can't remember his name.
Oh yeah,
help me
yeah.
out.
I know what you mean.
He said in the back of the book, I wanted to add this fight. I just was pushed for
I
time.
was
Yeah.
watching that with one with Scott.
and we were
and he
talking
told me
about it.
that,
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I,
is actually really good because if we get a Bleach anime, which
They
does
could.
oh
fix
my
it.
god,
This
please
is what we spoke
fucking
about.
fix it.
We've already spoke about that. In
We
our
have.
Bleach podcast,
We have.
But we did say if it does come back as an anime, we do want it to,
Yeah.
be changed and have him add things that he had in his mind at the time.
Yes.
Yeah,
But,
and don't include fucking overpowered bonkais that just get wiped away with one hit.
I mean, we could discuss this in a whole nother podcast, but for now, we'll get back on track.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
we're really going off on
Yeah. So
tangents.
do you want to go to number
Well,
4?
hang on. Well, this was my
Number 2.
one, I think.
Sorry, yeah. Sorry, number 2.
No, but like at the beginning of 2011, you've seen this. There's censorship, where someone cuts off someone else's arms.
Oh
And
yeah. Doesn't
yeah.
it make glitter or something?
Yeah, it scatters into glitter or something.
Mm.
But right towards the end,
It's almost like Yu-Gi-Oh! 4 kids.
You kind of is, yeah.
You won't get away.
it's
I
like
just jumped
Finger
out the window.
guns.
One Piece for kids.
Yeah, they changed cigarettes into lollipops and all sorts, don't they?
And Zoro's cleaning his sword with that thing the Japanese people have, like a cotton ball on a stick. But they've changed it to a lollipop. So he's just smacking his sword with one of Sanji's lollipops. Yes.
Okay.
But basically, towards the end of the anime, the censorship is gone.
Yeah.
And that's a dark arc.
All right. Okay.
And that's the thing. It looks like, oh, this is going to be another part 1 of Naruto. Really happy.
Yeah.
No.
It does
It
give you
gets-
that feeling.
it gets so dark. It's amazing.
Oh, right, okay.
So that's great, and the music's great. So
Yeah, the music
you know,
is really good in Hunter x Hunter. Yeah.
So that's something. My number 2, I can't quite decide whether it's Naruto Part 1 or Angel Beats.
Oh my god, Angel Beats! I forgot about that.
I'm going to talk about
I was
Angel
talking to you
Beats.
about that the other day in HMV. They've got
Oh, the
series.
overpriced Blu-ray.
Yeah, it's stupidly expensive.
But like you
But yeah.
guys probably know why it's good. It's a heartbreaking story.
Oh my
It is.
god.
I don't remember the animation. 'Cause
I
it's been
find it
too long.
difficult to find it as sad as I used to because Clanad is so much worse.
I've not watched it. And I'm
And
not gonna.
like just the correlation between them.
I'll
'cause they're
put
the
it.
same people, they're
I'll
both
put it
big.
this way: by the end of Angel Beats, I was crying because I needed more. Like I wanted this story to have a good ending, but it doesn't feel
Well,
like
after the credits.
it's so bittersweet. It's like, oh come on.
Yeah, like they basically all get what they want. Artanashi's left on his own, but then there's the after credits scene.
Yeah,
where
which
it's like he moved on as well, and then he like runs into Kaide or whatever. What's her name? Canada, or is it
Canada.
Kai-
Yeah.
is it
yeah, he runs into someone. Yeah,
Canada? Yeah.
But
It's all
yeah,
weird.
Like,
I
but
don't
as I
remember.
said, it almost had me in tears, which is really good.
Oh
I
no,
don't-
I was fucking balling.
I don't know why I wasn't, but I wasn't. But like the music.
Yeah,
Oh,
Music
the
is-
music is amazing.
it is phenomenal. There is.
And-
Oh, I'm getting chills just thinking.
Yeah. And like there's the premise as well, which is amazing.
Yeah,
It's like
really
something after
creative.
death for people who are dissatisfied with life. That's amazing.
and it
it's
gives them a
over
chance to
was
enjoy life.
fucking great
That was
too.
my next point. It's got 2 overs.
Yeah.
I only remember one.
Is that the one with the where he's
Dive
eating
into
the
your
curry?
body.
I'm trying to keep
body.
that hormone levels up.
Yeah, yeah.
Keep on excited.
And they're eating like the super spicy curry. That when you say that, all I can think of is revolution.
Revolution! Revolution!
What's his name?
High School
TJ or
Cadet.
something. He's always dancing.
TK.
TK.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
yeah.
great.
Dive into my body. Which
I don't know what that means for him yet.
It's wrong. The opening, like he just rolls out the window, and it's like, what the hell's going on?
He's just so ridiculously
brilliant.
cool.
He's absolutely brilliant.
Okay,
Right.
number
So
3.
yeah.
Naruto Part 1.
Okay.
I'm glad we established that Angel Beats was better than Naruto Part 1, to be honest.
I agree. I really do because I don't enjoy Naruto's anime that
It
much.
could be.
at all.
By Part 1, what do you mean? Like, where,
Just
like,
the
just
first
Naruto
220
in...
episodes.
Oh,
Shippuden
okay.
in the manga is Part 2.
Yeah, oh, right, okay, yeah. So I didn't know if you meant, like, first arc or, like,
No,
first
Part
half.
1 is the bit of the anime that's literally just called Naruto.
Just being a child
Yeah, I know.
12. But like,
back when he was
the
like,
animation is good.
couldn't keep it straight.
It has its the animation sometimes has its issues, but it is in general good. The music's great.
The music is great. Yeah, I'll give it that.
And best of all, if I remember correctly, except for like the very end, there's only one filler. Then the big climatic fight happens, which I think we've accidentally spoiled already.
Yeah.
But it's an old one.
I'm not going to lie that if it's so... Like, you already
Yeah,
spoiled
Naruto
Angel
was
Beats.
so-
It's for Naruto versus Sasuke.
I
fight.
don't want to. I wouldn't want to spoil the end of the of Shippuden, but
Yeah.
Shippuden, because that is kind of recent.
Naruto, I've actually got the run times.
yeah, the fight is good. That's the only part I've seen.
Yeah, the Naruto Part 1 ended in 2007.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But-
So I don't feel bad if we spoil that,
Yeah.
to be honest.
So like,
10
after, the
11
Naruto,
years, long enough.
after that fight, there's like maybe 100 odd chapters of filler.
Yeah, that's.
You
a
ignore
lot.
that. But before that, I think there's only one real filler of worth.
Is that the one where he
I've
shoves a
noticed-
baton up his ass? They're doing the race and he needs a shit. He's just fucking shouting.
No, because
That's
cause
an
that
over.
that's got to be early on, because
That's an over.
isn't Sasuke there as well?
That's
It's
an
like,
over.
yeah. Is it an over?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Is it?
movie.
That
One of
played
those,
on
yeah.
Well,
Jetix.
there's
That
episode,
episode used to play on Jetix.
episode 101 of original Naruto is the one where they're trying to see Kakashi's face.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's that one as well.
But like, I think the other fillers are just generally fun and decent.
Just gonna say thank you, Masashi Kishimoto, for showing us Kakashi's face with his cute little mole.
Oh, he's a handsome bugger.
Beautiful little bastard. Okay, let's move on.
So yeah, I think that's it for Naruto. Yeah, I was gonna say though,
Narutobi.
it took me to get into the mid-tuning exams before I actually started to enjoy it the first time I watched it.
I'd
I
say
still remember-
Zabuza for me.
I still remember reading the tuning exams, more specifically, because I was taking them out from the library in high school,
Yeah.
the manga.
Which is-
And I was reading Tamari versus Shikamaru, and that's when I was like, this is really cool.
Temari.
Tamari, that's what I said.
I thought I heard Tomari. I was like,
No,
that's
Tamari.
weird. Okay, that's cool.
I've just got a Redditch boy accent. I can't help it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Fucking good all.
but yeah, as I said, that was a long way through, but it's quickly become a favourite. So.
Yeah.
And my final one, you guys.
Well, don't you have 2 more?
But
we're doing top 5,
if he
aren't we?
decides on a 5th.
Oh, all right, okay.
I
I'm
might
probably
think
gonna do
about it when
5.
you guys are talking. I might add a 5th if I
Yeah.
can think of one.
Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, go on then.
My 4th and final one, you may have heard me talk about it, but I doubt you've seen it. It's called Senyu.
Is that it? Just Senyu?
Yeah.
That just...
I don't
Oh,
know what it
no,
translates
that's
to.
Senzu. I was going to say it reminds me of them beans, but no, it's Senzu.
From Dragon Ball.
Based on what I think was a webcomic.
Yeah.
With a very simplistic style. So the animation is largely consistent. But the story and the characters are hilarious.
It's not one of them 2.5 things, is it?
I don't know what that means.
It's like where it's sort of an anime, but sort of a manga at the same time. And it's sort of like... It's really hard to describe. But they've usually got really nice art styles. There's a few of them on Crunchyroll. They've got really nice art styles. And they like kind of... It's like it's an anime, but it misses out a chunk of frames between each scene. So it's almost like manga panels, but like with slight movement and animation in it.
I've seen some things which are literally scenes from a manga which have voice acting
And
over it.
music over it. That's
Maybe,
essentially
yeah.
a 2.5, yeah.
Yeah, well, no, this is an actual anime.
Oh, okay.
And like the animation's fun. I mean, it's clean. It's too simple to really do wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I can't remember how much. I don't think the anime itself goes that far because there's only 2 short seasons.
Yeah.
But my favorite part of it is just it's hilarious. And like for an example, at the beginning of every episode, they have a introduction. It's like a hole opened up in the world and demons crawled out and stuff like that. And
Then a man with 1 punch came in and just fucked them all up.
but like as the episodes go on,
Is this on Crunchyroll?
I think so, yeah.
Because this looks super, super familiar. And the art looks super, super familiar.
Show me it.
So this is what we're
That's
looking
it,
at
yeah.
right now.
I
Dude's got
haven't
like some kind of Buster Sword looking thing. And
Yeah.
actually,
It plays on tropes and
in
stuff
fact,
like that.
his
Yeah.
freaking hair is like Cloud, but black.
Yeah.
So it's like Cloud Zackman with a bit of Vincent's cape.
But like, if I'm getting back on track, the opening,
Yeah.
it starts off like really well animated. But as it goes on, it's intentionally getting worse and worse and simpler and simpler.
Yeah.
And it's just really funny. I wish I could explain it better, but
No, I'll probably watch it.
do so.
Sounds
It'd be great
alright.
to have someone to talk to about it.
I mean, it's only got 13 episodes, so no reason
Yeah.
not
2
to,
seasons.
really. Oh, so 2 seasons of 13.
Uh,
I now realise
Yeah.
that I am actually looking at Senyu season 2. But there is specials as well, apparently.
I'll have to look into that.
But
But I'm up to date with no, I might not be up to date with a webcomic. It comes out erratically, I think. But
that's why I stopped reading
the story actually
Dice.
gets surprisingly complex, and it's really good.
I stopped reading Dice because it was too erratic. I'd be up to date and then nothing would come out for like 3-4 weeks, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's a shame.
I mean, the upside was it was a memoir, not manga.
Yeah.
So it was Korean, and their chapters are typically like triple the length of a normal manga's chapter.
I think some of mine.
Or the page is like you're reading a scroll per page.
Yeah,
That's
I've read
fucking
a few of
long.
them.
But no, Dice was really good.
I think I started that. Can't remember.
I really enjoyed. I started it just because one of my exes read it, and I wanted to join in conversation about it, and she stopped, got bored, and I freaking loved it, and I just read the whole thing, and I was like, oh my god.
I have one in my mind, and I think it was that, but I could be wrong. So
Right, shall we do Ryan next?
No,
Wanna go
do
next? You want to do me?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll do you.
All right. Getting a bit under the collar.
this is a very niche genre.
Why is?
Well, you two are cousins.
I actually, you know what? The amount people joke about it, I don't think it's that niche anymore.
No, it's
And
just
you know
not
what?
a god point.
Is it niche or is it niche? I don't know. Because people do both.
Yeah, but are they nice or are they nice biscuits?
Nice
There's-
biscuits.
They're
It doesn't have
nice.
an E in it.
They're
In
nice.
Senyu, there's a
Depends though if they're from France, they're nice. Because
Yeah, they're nice.
in
How do you know?
Senyu.
Because I'd searched it.
Yeah, but how do
I
they know?
searched it because a friend of mine was like, they're nice biscuits, and we were
Look,
like,
man,
we stared at him.
I like the simple times of they taste nice. They're nice biscuits. They've
Third
got
time
sugar.
lucky.
Yeah.
In Senju,
Yeah.
there's a creature called a Nisei panda. It basically means false panda.
Yeah.
And it looks nothing like a panda.
Yeah,
The
but
point
that
is,
would be with
before
an
I
S,
realised
wouldn't
how to pronounce it,
You'd be an S. N-I-S-E.
Nisei.
Yeah, Nise.
But
Oh,
like,
these have a C. That's why. But carry on.
well, before I understood how to pronounce it, I thought it was nice panda. So,
Oh.
that's why.
Usually the easiest way, because people are like, oh, how do you say this? It's like, if you think about it in Japanese, every single thing has a vowel on the end. So if you can't, it can't be nice, because there's no s in
Except
Japanese. And it's added you.
Is it scone or scone?
This is the age-old, like, fucking battle.
It's scone!
I say
switch between
scone.
them.
I say if it's got an E on the end,
Scone.
do you say con or cone? It's cone. Ice cream cone. You say, can I have an ice cream cone, please?
Yeah,
Well,
but you
you
say
might do.
book or book.
Is it cone or
Yeah,
con
but
or
I say
bleach?
book because it's also Luke, not Luke. I'm a Luke over there. Well, it depends where you're from in the UK. to be honest.
Is it con or cone in bleach?
I say cone.
It's a waste of my fucking time. That's why it
Well,
is.
technically it's con
Yeah.
because
it's
that's
con.
how they would say
Remember,
it.
we used to say Tite Kubo. No, we used to say tight Kubo.
Tight
It's
Kubo,
Tite
but-
Kubo.
But then there's no T in Japanese, so wouldn't it be like chite? Kubo.
Tite. I have no idea. I'd have to look into it again.
I don't know, man.
Top 5, go.
Go to his house. Top 5. So anime.
Hi.
Oh. My number 1 at the moment is Academia. My Hero Academia, Boku no Hero Academia. I don't care what you call it.
But are you saying that because right now it's on the top of its premise, or are you saying that because you generally do think it's number 1?
I genuinely do think it's number 1.
The reason that wasn't in my favourites is because it's my favourite manga.
Hmm.
So
It's not mine, so I'm okay with it.
it's different with, as I said, my favourite manga and anime are different things. So.
I'm having so many thoughts going through my head that I keep
My
laughing.
one thought came to Madison is aware of it, yeah, but she's in the presence of a very shiny garbage can.
And now
And now she's aware of it.
I love that.
I've never heard that.
Oh, really?
That's also from Sanity
Yeah.
on YouTube.
She just turns and he's like, I know she's aware of it.
Maybe
From
I have
Heavy.
seen it then.
And then when I realised it was also from the game Heavy Rain, and then I played on PS4, I was like, wow, it is actually peculiarly shiny.
So yeah, right.
Academia. then.
Academia is my number 1. I mean, and that is because the animation is great and like it's not lacking in any way. I was scared that it was going to go how Naruto did and just get lazy.
Hmm.
Which, if it was going to do that so far, now would be the time, because this is probably the longest running season so far, and we're not at the
25
end yet.
episodes.
Well, we're not at the end yet.
I mean, like, I kind of like I've been trying to learn about Japanese animation and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, I might just be being a pedantic ass, but
I can get behind that.
it's not technically bad animation. It's just different.
Yeah.
There's I thought, remind me, Todoroki's his name. Isn't it?
Todoroki,
Yeah.
Ice
the-
Fire guy.
Yes, thank you. I'm terrible.
Just
names.
from Shoto. it's easy to
When
remember.
him and Midoriya fought in the
games, like
in
the-
the games, not really. If you're watching, you should expect that all of them to fight at one point or another. That's literally
could
their
have
Midoriya
training.
versus Uraraka.
Midori. Oh, you mean the part where he turned her into jam?
That would be utter destruction.
When they fought that, I remember seeing on because this is before I'd even watched Academia. What are you laughing at
I
now?
was just imagining, you know, when the
you
end,
imagining
the end of
jam?
that fight, where
Yeah.
the whole thing happens and
Yeah.
they put up the barrier.
Yeah.
Just imagine Uraraka pulled an Ash from Pokemon the first movie.
Oh fuck me. No, I remember a while back before I'd even watched Academia that was on like a top 5 animations of the week. That
Yeah.
fight specifically.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, they can only go downhill from here, but they actually haven't.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Well,
that's
what I
what I mean.
love about that fight is because I've read the manga. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
In that fight, you really see his style come out,
Hmm.
his unique
Yeah.
quirk. But they managed to get that across in the anime as well.
Yeah.
Watch Midoriya's face, you'll see it, and that's what I loved about that.
It's brilliant, yeah.
But when it comes to animation, there've been a few issues I've had.
My actual issue with that fight is when the clash happens, because when they zoom out, everything doesn't look quite right. If you rewatch it, it looks a bit like
I've watched it 3 times.
like the face melding from Naruto sort of situation. But that was my only issue with the fight, and it's only asked for about what 2 seconds, so
might
you
need
can
to-
let them get away with
I
it.
might have to rewatch it again.
One of my biggest things that I like was the animation. Obviously, the music. It is incredible. which leads me to my number 2, but we'll get to that.
Can I just say one thing about the animation?
Yeah.
Like, one thing, it's done wrong, and it's something you see a lot in anime, so it's probably me nitpicking. But it's like a moment where somebody who can't fly jumps at someone else, they grapple, but the character who I just said can't fly stays in the air and continues to push. They've done that, which irritates me. And another
I guess you can say with is it Midoriya?
No,
doing this?
All Might.
Yeah, I thought it might
All
have been All Might. I was
either of them,
thinking.
I'm thinking
You're about the
maybe they're that
most
strong they
recent
can
fight.
literally put that much pressure into
No,
their kick.
because
They
you
can.
literally see them going back and forth, and it's like, no.
Are you on about the most recent fight with All Might?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
one
yeah.
you all know, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, also, same fight, there's a scene where Midoriya is clearly supposed to be running, but he's kind of gliding.
Yeah.
And
I don't remember
that
that. To be
bothers
honest.
me.
That is kind of nitpicking. I will say that.
Yeah, maybe so, but I've got my point across now. You
I
can-
I see what you mean, but I will say that's like something that if you're actually watching the full scene and you're not looking for that, it doesn't really.
I wasn't looking for it. It's just something I couldn't not see.
I think you've
Ah.
trained yourself to be that way.
Yeah, possibly.
So like a lot of the things you see wrong don't bother anyone, apart from the people who try to look for them.
What was it? I don't try to.
No,
look
that's
for
what I'm
them.
saying. I think you've seen them so much that you can't stop yourself seeing
Yeah,
it
maybe.
anymore.
It's because I want to learn more about things. And the more you learn, the more flaws you see.
No, I completely
doesn't
agree.
mean,
Like,
like, this-
I struggled to enjoy music as much after I went to music college because you like learn about mastering and all, like how the mix is done, and then when you hear certain instruments together and you're like, those are mixed fucking horribly, and then you're like, I can't enjoy this now.
Yeah.
It's fucking horrible.
understand
It's
the
shit because you
I
can.
think it's fair to say, that I'm the same, but in like the opposite. So where you watch anime and you can see that without even thinking about it, I can see problems with TV shows without even thinking about it. So I've recently been watching Castle, and
That is.
it's got Nathan Fillion in it.
Oh really?
And
Okay,
it's got 8 seasons. It ends horribly, but I'm just watching it for the characters at this point.
Yeah.
And when I'm watching it, I'm like, all right, here's the obligatory episode where they have a time skip or they go back, like they have flashbacks because they like to recap the episodes, or like it's the 100th episode, so they do
let's
something
not
special.
lie, anime is also terrible flashbacks. That is one issue that I actually did have recently with Academia.
Yeah.
It randomly flashed back to a point earlier in that same episode.
Which one was that?
Mm.
I cannot
Or
remember.
was-
I can't, you know what I was like.
Well, the thing is, like, talking about obligatory, you may not have, I think you said you did have seen this one, but the latest episode I saw where they had filler,
Mm-hmm.
it was clearly, like, because there are things that happen, character development, so they not only really obviously designed one character to match the main character's development, but the entire thing was based around it, which made the other characters involved, well, because they weren't the lead character, they would just, they were like, oh, what do we do? And it just ruined everything that's good about them.
Mm.
And
But
there
you
was
mean
a-
you're on about
there was
that
this-
filler episode? That,
Yeah,
like, yeah, but
There was that one flashback as well, which didn't actually apply to what was happening. It was just a moment to make her, oh, yes, let's do this.
which flashback was that?
Without spoiling the episode, I can't really go too much
Yeah, I
into
know
it.
I
that.
mean, you know the episode.
Yeah.
It flashes back to that scene at the hospital.
Oh yeah.
That didn't actually apply to what was happening.
I think it was just more her state of mind.
What was the thing?
More like
the entire
saying
thing
they
felt,
can do it, so can I,
the
sort of
entire
thing.
thing felt super contrived. And
I
it
suppose
feels
with
like
that point, but I disagree with the whole.
I mean, I'd rather stop talking.
I think it was-
because the listeners don't have a context. I don't want to linger
Yeah,
too
but
much
real
on
quick,
this.
I just don't think that the other characters being injured and not
Oh,
being
they
able to use
weren't
their quirks
injured.
to the best.
They were just like, oh,
Some of them
well,
were. Jiro was injured.
yeah, but they could still talk. They could still plan, but they were relying entirely on.
Yeah, but the whole point of her role is she's supposed to be like really clever at doing plans and
Yeah,
shit.
but the others can do
That's
it
what
too.
they kind of made a point of with Todoroki back in the exams.
Yeah, but the thing is, Todoroki didn't stop thinking.
No.
But anyway, as I said, we're leaning towards the
But
realm
ma-
of spoilers at the moment.
Yeah,
so-
but at the same time, real quick, this is my last thing, is they could know that she's better at planning and just relied on her to get them through it because it was their best
Yeah,
chance.
but considering she was panicking for ages, not actually doing anything.
Which was the point. The
Yeah,
flashback.
but then they were all thinking at that point, and then suddenly she got on
No,
the
they
board.
relied on her the entire time. It irritated the hell out of me.
From what I
But they
remember,
had to
were-
though, if you think about it.
I mean, for one,
Not to dive into spoilers of
Froppy had
the
to.
episode.
She had no choice. So I'll say that part. And she's
Then the
beautiful.
person hugging her, and then injured. The earphone was injured, so she was literally the only person who could do anything in that
Well,
episode.
she was injured. That doesn't stop her from thinking. It doesn't
No,
stop
but
her
she-
from making suggestions.
Yeah,
But her character has never been about, I
She
can think
literally
myself
just-
out of
She'll
this.
be a terrible hero if she can't make a plan.
But yeah,
This
but that's the
entire
point. That's the
thing
point of the
is-
show.
Yeah, but the
They're
whole
going to
point-
make episodes about different characters where each character has
It's
their
like
own
Froppy
type of
had
style.
hers. Like in that, was that filler? Where you
The
see what she did.
pirates.
Yeah. Well, that's.
That was a good
I feel
filler.
like that was her episode of that sort of
Well,
thing.
think
All right, that wasn't great filler.
I like.
I'll say
it
that
was
much.
really good, yeah.
it was good.
But okay, right. So that's my number one because we've been on Academia for a long time now. Music's great, animation's great, the characters are great. They all like the work. The what's the word? The chemistry between the characters is amazing. Only gripe with the anime that stops it being 10 out of 10 only takes it down to 9.8 out of 10, and that is Mineta. Kill the bastard.
Yes.
Fucking murder him. Throw him in a vat of acid,
I had a
and then
friend-
pour him on some Cheerios, and then feed him to himself in the past.
Is this is this
Grape.
sticky
Yeah,
sticky
man.
grape the guy?
Yeah.
Oh my god, me and Zoe will not stop hating on him whenever we watch
Think
If you
Academia.
turn your head slightly,
Is he right behind me?
he's right behind me, isn't he?
My friend at uni, he caught up with the anime and then started reading the manga.
Yeah.
And he was like, until I started reading the manga, I didn't realise how repulsive Mineta was.
He's repulsive, but can I actually say something I actually really liked? In the you know the episode where they like exploring each other's rooms,
Yes.
not to dance contest. You know when he's like in his room, he's like, "Can you come check out my room?" I actually burst out laughing. It's like, wow, they really know what his character
And
is.
then,
now.
and then when they went to check out the other ones, when they went to Hagakure's room,
He was
and
there
went straight
again.
to the panty drawer. I was just like, oh my god, dude, come on.
But that, to be fair, at least they're not like shying away from
Yeah.
it. They do know
Yeah,
his
they
character
Writing him to like
to what he
Yeah.
should be, because that is what he is.
So yeah, my number 2 anime
That's alright.
for now anyway, at least.
Mm.
Haikyuu.
Oh yeah, you recently finished.
I mean, I avoided it for a long time. I kind of meant to read it a long time ago when it was really popular, and I kind of avoided it because it's sport, and I dislike sport animes. Anime.
is it
no.
basketball,
It's volleyball.
volleyball? Okay.
Although I did watch a bit of Kuroko no Basket, and
That's what I got
fucking
confused
I'd
with.
also recommend Ice Shield 21. It's
uh,
American football. But
something I want to read, which is courtesy of a recommendation from Joey, the anime man. Slam Dunk.
yeah, you've mentioned
From what he said, it's because it's so unlike any other anime or manga. It's a manga only. It's basketball.
Yeah.
But they said it is pure basketball, like it's like realistic basketball. It's not over the top
That's
anime
pretty
BS,
cool then, yeah.
and it's never been done before, kind of thing. And it became like one of the most popular.
I mean, like, Ice Shield 21 is the opposite of that. It's got special techniques.
Well, it's like Kuroko no Basket as well. Like Kuroko, just like it doesn't
Yeah.
exist. So weird.
And one really interesting thing about Ice Shield, though, is that the artist and author, Murata Yusuke, I think, is also the artist who's redoing One Punch Man.
Oh right.
So, like, and the
Interesting.
art is beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'd definitely recommend that for that
Well,
alone.
that was handy.
Thanks Windows 10 for telling me Skype has just updated. I don't even use it.
Anyway, right. So,
Sorry for anyone who heard that.
I like this one. It's the same composer as Academia.
Oh, really?
That's why I started it.
I've done the same.
And although I don't really like sport anime very much, like usually, it was the same with Kenichi. I don't really like martial arts anime. I've got to stop putting
do?
the S on there. It really bothers me when people do
bothers
that, and
me.
I'm doing it myself.
I'm going to throttle you by the
It's
end
the
of this.
pressure. Anyway, so I don't normally like martial arts anime, and History's Strongest Disciple Kenichi was incredible.
Yes.
So like,
So
I thought, you
shame
know
it's
what?
ended.
I'll put it away. Put away my dislike for this sports stuff, and I'll do it. And I watched Haikyuu. The characters are amazing. The animation is incredible.
I remember that from Fuel.
It is probably one of the best some of the best animation I've seen in any anime that I've ever seen. It is
I mean, on the topic of sports
beyond
anime,
incredible.
I've been meaning to watch Hanebado, one of those.
I've heard of that.
It's just coming out. It's like 5 years ago. I was trying to see if I could find any badminton anime, and they've just released one.
Oh, fair
So I
enough.
want to watch that because it's.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
the animation looks really good. So
Yeah.
it's another reason to look into it.
Number 3.
Number 3, which for some reason I recently realised that this is quite a split opinion, and I really didn't think it was. Fairy Tail.
Is that split?
A lot of people really hate Fairy Tail.
They hate Fairy Tail because of the presence it sets that friendship can beat everything. But it's like that's actually not what it is. It's about family.
It's not really
The
that.
whole
It's
point-
Dragon Slayers can beat everything, and the other people are extras. Put Bakugo in there.
In a way, you don't.
You
damn
kind of ignores Urza's entire presence.
Yeah, Urza
Yeah.
Urza's a special case, and then there's Lucy, who has a role to play.
She has a
in-
role to play, but she's like nothing. She's special for a Celestial Wizard, but Celestial Wizards suck.
Especially, you haven't got to the final arc, and
No,
I
of
told
course
you,
not.
I told you not to watch Dragon Cry.
Yeah, but
Because in Dragon Cry they do spoil like certain
I still
abilities.
haven't watched it.
It's all right
still
for what it is.
still makes
It's
me want
just
to cry.
it's so easy. It's so obvious that it's there to set up the final arc. But the problem with Fairy Tail is we haven't even got to the point where Fairy Tail's reunited yet in the anime, because that obviously is going to happen because that's how the anime ended in 2014 version, as you
What, it
remember.
ended with dragons being all fucking up and
Huh? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
What, the 2014
Yeah.
anime? It ended with Natsu went off to train for a year. It ended with it ended with the demons.
Yeah, I
arc.
remember now.
Tartaros, is that?
Tartaros, yeah.
Yeah. So
Completely forgot about that. To be honest.
so they run off, and then he basically ripped Fairy Tail on the castle.
Yeah.
End of the anime, and then we obviously waiting now for the final arc.
Yep.
But Dragon Cry skips all the reunion part, and we now have people's new abilities, what they can do. Like Lucy gets something new, and some of the people get other things as well. And so I told you not to watch that.
Yeah. Which I didn't. I avoided.
But-
But I tried watching the first movie and I did not enjoy it.
No, the
at
Phoenix
all.
Priestess.
watched
I ended
half
up
and I was
I
like,
ended up
eh.
looking down for most of it until they got to the end.
I kind of enjoyed it, but it's not something you want to watch frequently.
I just didn't.
again.
I couldn't even finish it.
It's not like the Diamond Dust Rebellion from
Oh,
Bleach.
my
I
favourite
didn't
Bleach
even like
movie.
that one. I
That
only
was by
liked
far the best of all four.
The Hell one,
Hellverse.
number
the
4.
only
Jigoku
one I
Hell.
liked was Fade to Black, where Rukia turned.
I fucking
I
hated
thought that was
one.
the worst one.
I might have liked.
Actually, I thought number 1 was
I
the
actually
worst.
didn't mind number one
I
that
might
much.
have
Memories of
liked
Nobody, is it
Hellverse.
called?
I might have liked Hellverse. I can't remember.
Jigoku Hen.
Yeah,
Great film.
but
I actually bought that one.
yeah, I know.
I
But
actually
anyway,
like that.
on Fairy Tail, I would always recommend people watch that, if only because Urza is an amazing character.
Yeah, she
people
is.
always,
She is.
there's a huge fuss about strong female characters, but she is kind of the definition of a strong character, regardless of sex.
There's an argument to say Lucy's the same as well, because she fuels Natsu's character.
What I like about
yeah, that's all
Lucy,
she does, really.
yeah, but what I like about Lucy is, although they kind of give her that image of,
Sexualness.
yeah,
They
they give her
always-
that
they
sexual
always downplay it,
undertone,
don't they?
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then the way they do it is in they make her sexual only really to Natsu. Like no one, people do say, oh, she's attractive or whatever, but no one like really. They kind of make it more of a almost interactive thing between her and
Yeah.
The
Natsu.
people who complain about Fairy Tail are the people who say Dragon Ball's good, and it's like, but it's not, because Goku will always just match the power of the person he's fighting,
I like
just
Dragon
because.
Ball.
Huh?
I like Dragon Ball.
I know you
I
do,
mean, I
Steve.
like it because it's a really dorky.
But no, I'm
fun
talking about in the
film.
context of why Natsu wins most of the time. Where Goku powers up, so would Natsu. It's literally the
Natsu
same
basically
premise.
just finds a way to eat fire. And
Or eat
But
something anyway.
other
Yeah,
than
so
the
it-
fight against the twin dragons at the end
That
of
was
the
incredible.
original
That
Fairy
was-
Tail anime.
I'm still disappointed because that could have been done so much better.
I disagree
Well, this
completely.
thing, it keeps. My problem is not the fight. The thing is, I want to see more of a fight, but they keep switching to the characters watching. And,
But that happens in the manga.
yeah, no, and my complaint.
Oh, so this is one.
like-
This is one of the things you want. You wish the anime would have
I
changed.
wish they
Ah.
would have focused more on the fight instead of characters
Yeah.
commenting on the fight.
You also have to remember as well. They knew they were going on hiatus at this point, so they had to
I
set up
know.
like a cliffhanger.
It is a shame, but
But right, so just to go over this real quick, Fairy Tail has one of the best soundtracks in anime. Full stop, in my opinion.
I've forgotten his name. But
I don't remember. I don't know who did it. I never really looked.
No,
he
I've
also did the
never really looked.
Shippuden soundtrack, which was amazing.
Really?
Yeah, Shippuden's
And
great.
no, Sailor Moon Crystal.
Oh, that's random. I
And-
never liked Sailor Moon. Just gonna throw that out there.
And some of the later Ikki Tusen anime.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Really good soundtrack, but it's
Questionable content.
yeah.
It's not bad. it was interesting-ish.
It's good if you don't take it
I'm pretty
seriously.
sure it was with you, Ryan, that we went and looked after my dad's friend's house, and I was like, Ibs told me to search Icky Toast in episode 6.
Oh my god, fuck off.
Yeah, I
no, you
know.
bring about memories.
Good ones.
Go away.
Yeah.
And then we played Sonic Riders because
burner.
we had to get rid of the whole
How about we move on to
memory.
number 3?
That was number
We are
3.
on number 3, Fairy Tale is.
How about we move on to number 4?
Number 4 is Clanad After Story.
I
Yeah,
can't
I knew that.
comment on
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, obviously it's in my top 5.
Actually, I can comment on that. It's just not first person
He
experience.
tried to make me watch the first season of Clanad, and I couldn't get past.
Yeah, that's the
first
thing. The
part,
first
so.
season is a bit of a drag. I enjoy the comedy, and I like slice of life anime anyway. Which it is purely slice of life. The first season, apart from the really strange 3D robot person that keeps randomly appearing and being like, "The world is destroyed" or some shit, and it's like, oh, okay.
Khaled was my friend at uni's first anime.
Ow.
Yes.
Oh, that's
See,
rough.
that's so rough because most people say Death Note, won't they?
Death
It's their
Note,
first
I've heard
anime.
Angel Beats.
Death
Yeah.
Note.
They're both kind of gateway anime. But
Well, I'm just gonna
Skyward
be my gateway anime was most likely Pokemon. No, it wasn't. It was
I don't-
Card Captor Sakura.
It was, yeah.
count those early ones because when I was watching them,
To
I
us,
thought
they're
they were
cartoons. Yeah.
I only count things after.
If we're
high
talking
school,
about
like
if we're
Bleach,
talking about what got me actually into manga and anime as a thing, it was Yu-Gi-Oh.
Black Cat and Bleach.
Well, no, it was Black Cat. It was the first thing you ever read, and that's because I fucking forced you. 'Cause you
No,
kept saying,
I was
"No."
bored. I was in your room.
No,
you
but
were
I
playing
kept.
Games,
I was telling you
bored. I
for
was like,
so long. I was telling you for so long. Just try one. You go, no, it's not my thing. It's lame. And then, freaking one day, he's like, "All right, I'll try one." I'm like, "I recommend Black Cat. It's really good." And he picks up Black Cat 1, starts reading it, gets hooked, goes home, reads the whole fucking thing, moves on to someone else, reads all that, and here we are, 10 years later, and he's
Yes.
freaking addicted.
10 or 12.
You have a problem, sir.
But yes. So, real quick, yeah, mine was Yu-Gi-Oh, and I borrowed one of my friends my Game Boy Advance SP and 2 games, and he lent me the first 5 books of Yu-Gi-Oh. I read all those. Then he lent me Battle Royale, and
Yu-Gi-Oh was my gateway
never
as
really
well.
looked back, gotta say. But I never got my Spyro back with my Game Boy. He lost it with air quotes.
I'm sure he
We'll
did.
see. Anyway,
We'll see as if it has been over 10 years. He's like, oh, here's your Spyro back.
it was Season of Flame.
Yeah, I had Season of Ice.
I
Yeah.
had one of those. I can't remember which one.
Me
it
and him
was.
had separate ones. Did I fucking lend it to you or some shit?
No, I definitely had one my own.
I always seem to have the separate to everyone else. So with Lewis, I always used to have Ruby, he'd have
I
Sapphire.
always got.
I'd
Ruby.
have
I did that
I'd have
intentionally.
silver, he'd have gold, and I'd have blue and he'd have red.
I had
yellow.
blue,
Yeah.
gold, and ruby. And then I went crazy and started collecting
I
every
had-
single cartridge I could.
I
get.
had blue, silver, and ruby.
There was Pearl as well, and he had Diamond.
home,
and then I
I'd
stopped
probably
after
have
that.
That after it hit that pearl.
You know,
diamond,
Pearl was actually really good, to be
I
fair.
didn't ever play any of those.
At home, I probably have somewhere every single Game Boy Pokemon game, except for
Wow.
pinball and weird ones, offshoots.
Right, I'm just
No,
gonna
those
throw this
offshoot
out there.
ones.
I'm gonna move back to Clanad
Yeah,
real
you
quick
do that.
because we have a lot of things we're going into here that could really do with their own episodes.
Yeah.
So to keep it.
My list is not going to be long, so it's
No,
fine.
but we're already at an hour and I've still got more.
Yeah,
to
it's
do.
fine.
So Clanad. The music. Well, okay, I'm gonna start with this. Yours. I can't remember if it was your number 4 one. Angel Beats.
3, wasn't it?
Was it 3?
Or was it 2?
No, it definitely wasn't 2.
Hunter
Angel Beats was 2.
Was it?
Yeah, and then he said Naruto.
2, and then yeah.
Oh
that's
yeah,
right.
and Angel Beats was, but yeah. Okay, so it was your number 2. Clanad is pretty much Angel Beats 2.0, essentially. It's
After Story.
yeah, but I feel like After Story is really sad, but it's not as bad if you didn't watch season 1. Because it sets up season 1 is literally just setting up the characters, getting you attached, making you realise who they are as people, and then the second season is relationships evolving, life continuing through when they're adults.
Yeah.
And fucked up shit going down, like dying children and fucked up shit, man.
Alright, I already know about the fucked up shit.
So anyway, I don't want to spoil it because anyone watches it, I want them to feel the raw emotion that you get from not knowing what's going to happen.
Which is why I avoid it.
Because then there's another big spoiler.
I don't think I
that
could
would come.
emotionally take that.
No, but that's the thing. Something else happens after all this, and it's It's just like.
I mean, you've told me all this before, so I know what happens.
But anyway, right. So
Avoiding it.
as he said, he almost cried at the end of Angel Beats. I did cry at the end of Angel Beats. This is by the same people, Key. They did the art. They did other things like Canon and Air. The music is incredible. Absolutely amazing. The art is amazing. The story is immersive. And I really connected with the characters. To the point where my online alias for most of my things is Akazaki, which is the main character of Clanad.
I think you also had Otonashi for a while.
No. It started off Kurosaki.
Well, you
Where
had
did the
Kurosaki,
where did the
Otonashi.
Takuya come from?
Takuya. That's the
Yeah.
lead singer of Overworld.
You also have,
Ah.
you also have Koizumi. You're still.
Oh no,
that's
that
in
was
Skype.
that was just because I was in like this weird role play thing when I was in high school of like Haruhi Suzume.
It was.
Can't forget that time you tried to act like L from Death Note.
I think that was just like my massive teenager
Weeb
weeb phase. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, Mum, buy me chocolate. She's like, no. I'd be like, buy me chocolate. I want to squat on the sofa.
While I watch some Bleach on my 360.
Yeah. So it's just a brilliant story. And where, as I was saying, I cried at the end of Angel Beats, but I cried for like the last 20 episodes of Clanad, just non-stop bawling for like 3-4 hours. It was horrible. My eyes were in so much pain.
Yeah.
My stomach was hurting, and I was just like, for the next few months after, I couldn't even hear the opening without just breaking down. But yeah, so that is a great anime, and I wanted to do 5. And I did have a 5th one. I've now forgotten. God damn it. I'm going to just go with Digimon. I'm going to play it safe.
Fuck you. I was gonna say Digimon.
It's because... Do you know what? Right. The original Adventure series is up there. But for me, I'm not going to have that as my number 5. Try, obviously, is my number 5.
Yeah, but you go into Try without the context
No,
of
I'm
season
saying you
2
That's
do
why I haven't started Try yet.
because you haven't watched
I
season
want
2.
to find it in the Japanese because there's the English. It's just bad pun after bad pun.
It is
It
bad
is.
pun after
The
bad pun.
Japanese actually is a story, but I haven't been able to find
'Cause I've
anything past like the first 10 episodes.
I
There is a
recently
way
watched
to get
season
it
2.
if you've got a few £100.
I don't have a few hundred
Amazon.
quid.
What, I'm gonna
That's a
have to-
really
Why-
disturbing picture you got on your phone.
That's not me. That's somebody calling me. I'm just gonna have to. Shh.
Alright then. So, Try.
Yeah, will probably be my number 1. Not number 1, but number 5.
Yeah, number 5.
And that's
Because the context of Try, not to spoiler it, is there's a certain part where the Dark Masters are in a fight.
Yeah.
And
is this
there's a
episode 6?
Digimon. There's a Digimon in there that just because I just realised that Steve hasn't actually watched Try, so I do apologise. It's just a flashback. There's a Digimon in there that's in season 2
Ah.
and is important to
Yeah,
season
yeah,
2 overall.
To be fair, I don't know if I've ever finished season 2. I wanted to do a full marathon of all of it. but
What with Davis?
Davis,
Davis!
and Digimon and all that.
Vmon, Hawkman, and
It feels like they got a bit more lazy than like Agumon, Gabumon. Like they're much different names to like Vmon because he's got a V on his head.
only just got lazy. They went Agumon Greymon, Metal Greymon, War Greymon,
Skull War Greymon.
Skull War. No, that's just Skull Greymon.
I thought
Then.
there was a Skull War Greymon.
Skull Greymon is the dark ultimate
Yeah.
to Greymon.
Which is a
It's
really
just
cool
cool.
concept, to be fair.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but the thing I like most about Try, one, I really like the opening. Like it sets the mood so well. The opening song and cinematic.
Oh yeah. It took me a while to get used to that because obviously my whole life I've been used to
Digimon.
Digimon.
The Japanese opening is actually really good.
It is, yeah.
Did.
It is good. But I don't know, it's the nostalgia. Like I can't get used
The
to it.
English one is fun as hell. It's just so much energy. But the Japanese one's
A
just
lot of people
good.
hate Digimon. I feel like it's all the people who like, oh, Pokemon. I grew up with Pokemon, and everyone
was
was like,
kinda
Digimon's a copy. It's like, I can see where you're coming
You actually,
from. but
if
it's
you actually
not.
do the research, you realise that they're about 2 months in between. So there's that literally no way you could have copied it and have such good production value on
But
it. At the
there's
same
that.
time.
But then I also don't think it's a copy. The concept is incredibly
The concept's completely different. Not only that, Pokemon fans, fuck you all. I'm going into a rant right now. Ash has never fucking won a single tournament other than filler
Kind of
tournaments.
makes him a really realistic character.
Really? Because he's been 10 for the past fucking 20
Yeah,
years.
that kind of. But like real life, you don't win everything.
At least
No, but never
Digimon
winning
season
anything is like next level.
is bad because the whole point is him to win the league, to be the best Pokemon trainer.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
how many
still-
times has the opening change since I wanna be the very best?
Very best.
it's like-
never will be.
Pretty much.
What was the Johto one? That was a really good one. I can't remember what it was.
remember it.
Oh, it was really good. It was in the Pokemon 2000 movie as well.
Oh man, that was a good movie.
No, sorry, Pokemon
Was that
Freeze
the
one.
first time we
Vente.
ever saw the legendaries? Moltres, Zapdos, Narkula.
Yes,
2000.
it would have been. Yeah, it would have been.
And
They
Lugia,
were
wasn't it,
never
as well?
in- they
Lugia
weren't
was
in the
there
an-
the first time as well.
Lugia was my favourite legendary. Ho-Oh we see in like the
First
first couple of
episode.
episodes.
At the end of the first episode.
We see a bloody legendary from the next region.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. But yeah, so at least Digimon has a point to it. Like, there's always
Yeah.
a new threat. Whereas with Pokemon, it's like,
Team
oh,
Rocket.
Mewtwo's back and he's a bit more pissed than he was the last time. I don't remember you, but
I
yeah.
think I had the second Mewtwo movie on
Oh, that
VHS.
movie's actually
I
really
never
good.
saw it. What is that
It was
called?
intense.
It was
Because
actually
you got
really
Mewtwo
intense.
Strikes Back almost as if there was one before
That's
it.
that's the sequel. That's the
I also
sequel.
had
That's Pokemon the first
No, is that
movie,
Pokemon 1?
Mewtwo Strikes Back. That's what it's
Oh,
called.
sorry, yeah, no, the one after is the Return of Mewtwo, I think.
Never
It's just
seen
that.
Like I had I think it's I think it's a fourth one. I could be wrong. I think it's
Pokemon
Entei,
Forever.
That's
Unknown.
Pokemon.
Oh, that's
third
free.
movie.
The fourth one's literally called Pokemon Forever, and it's a number 4,
Yeah.
and it's the one with Celebi.
Yeah.
I may have seen it. No, like the one with Entei was one of my favourites as well.
It's so
But it
weird.
turns
Like she
out-
thinks it's his dad or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, she thinks Entei's a dad.
And Ash's mum's her mum. But
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
fuck it. Oh my god.
Like,
I bought
for
the triple
English
pack
version-
and I was so pissed off it didn't have Pikachu's Vacation before the first movie. I never
was
watched
good.
the second movie.
Where Charizard cries and
Yeah,
you start
I
to
was
get
like,
weepy.
oh no, man.
Like-
get his head out. He's really upset.
the English version of the Entei one had a different soundtrack.
Did it?
How did
The
it?
soundtrack was really good. I need to find it in the
I've gotta
original
say,
Japanese so I know.
The English
that was
soundtrack for the first movie is incredible.
I don't
Can
remember
I actually say the Pokemon movies up to a point, obviously, were amazing.
it. They were good.
Some of the best
But
anime
the-
movies
but
out
the-
there, to be honest.
But when I saw a picture the other day where it was like, I say the other day, it's probably like a couple of years ago now, where it's like the map from the very first game, and it's the house you start in to the very first town, and then it's like in the anime, this took 20 episodes. It should not take 20 episodes to go from one town to the fucking
No.
other, just because you're getting stuck in the middle trying to catch a
All
Caterpie.
filler.
Yeah, it's
But yeah,
ridiculous.
what I haven't said is the reason I like Try is because it's difficult now to get back into the original Digimon Adventure because I'm so different. Like it's aimed more at child me. Try feels like it's almost like how I remember the original adventure in my
Yeah.
head.
But not only that, well, yeah, actually, that goes into play because Troy has such a serious
Yeah, it's far
story
more
to
serious than
it.
the originals.
But when we were kids, adventure was
Yeah,
serious
exactly.
in a way. Like they were stuck in
So
this
it's
place.
basically aged with me perfectly. I'm at the age now to enjoy that one as much as I enjoyed the
Yeah.
originals.
And I'd
But
probably-
because of the story of that, I can now go back to the originals and enjoy them more than I would have without Try.
I
If you
could
know what I
probably
mean?
Yeah.
enjoy the originals, but that's because I like children's fiction, and like to an extent, I would like to write it,
Yeah.
which might be why I have this unhealthy focus on it. But I could still enjoy the original, even if I haven't watched Try.
I mean,
It's just a case of finding it in Japanese.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
Well, if you had like a console or something that could play Blu-rays, I could lend you all of Try.
I'm
In
looking
December,
for-
the 6th one
I'm
comes out.
looking for an external Blu-ray.
You know, the
drive.
cost of external Blu-ray drive, you're halfway to a PS4, mate.
I know.
So just get one of them.
He's got a point.
Then you
It's
could get DMC
ridiculous.
HD collection, DMC5, and Kingdom Hearts
I
3.
could do, but I don't have time for that while I'm at uni. So
You don't need time.
You found time for Breath of the Wild. How do you not find time
was
for the
before
other
uni.
games? Oh, is it
No,
before
but,
uni?
Wasn't it?
I definitely got a Switch while I was at uni.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
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 Okay.
I
remember we chatted about it that one time.
So it was easy.
To be fair, I don't think you need to spend every waking second on your.
No, but I'm a horrible procrastinator, and so I just can't chance it.
Or you
If I
just.
get hooked on
Or
something,
no,
I'm
no,
gone.
there is a way around this.
Mm.
The PlayStation 4 has family settings, and I set it up for you, and I give you like 2 hours a day, and then it will turn off and you can't use it.
The thing is, I wouldn't play anything 'cause it's so damn unsatisfying doing it like that.
All right, I'll give you 3 hours. Final offer.
You can have 3 hours in a minute.
Missing the point of it.
And 25 seconds.
Right.
26 seconds.
Are you
I
done
wanna
with
do
your
a
list?
quick special mention.
To what?
I want to throw a couple of movies in.
Okay.
So
If I know
my
that,
two.
if I know that.
No, you can say one if you want. But
if
after
your
those,
name's not in there, then I'm going to be annoyed.
I've got 2 movies I want to throw in, anime movies. In my opinion,
on,
the
mate.
best 2 anime movies of all
Oh,
time.
I know where this is going.
Number 1, Kimi no Na wa. Your Name.
So your name, yeah.
It's on my list of
Shinkai
things to watch.
Makoto, I think. It was the director, wasn't it? Shinkai
I don't know.
Makoto. Yeah. Well, anyway, amazing film. Radwimps did an amazing job on the soundtrack that they did, like the parts they did of it. Story's great. It's actually quite refreshing and different for a romance.
I have a 5th one.
Okay, we'll get to it. It's I just think it's amazing, like all round as far as anime movies go. They're normally quite bad, I think.
Yeah.
But this was incredible.
I watched it on Prime when I had it free for 1 month, and I saw that it was like the top film in Japan at the time or something like that.
Oh, what was it?
A year after its release or something
They
ridiculous.
used. I think it was $360 million was their budget.
Yeah, and then they got like way more than
Yeah.
that back.
I
didn't
think
they
it
made a
was.
massive profit off of it, and I watched it with Zoe, and after that film, I was like, "My
I think that's the
God,
first
that
time
was
you've ever
amazing."
said her name on podcast. I think you always say.
I said it earlier. Yeah, I know. It's long-winded and I can't be arsed anymore. And she had a go at me over there because you remember on stream when you told me I said the shitty Back to the Future car.
Yeah.
She sent me a text like, "What is the shitty Back to the Future car, Ryan?" I was like, "Oh,
Stream. I was like, say that to Zoe. You're like, you do all the time. I was like, I always say it to her. But yeah, so that's film number 1. I highly recommend you check it out rather than me tell you why it's so good. Like you'll see.
yeah." You
Number
were.
2, Mononoke Hime.
I knew it was going to go with that.
Princess Mononoke. I suppose it doesn't have the most amazing story / production value or anything, but I don't know what it is about the film. Like, I couldn't tell you myself.
I'll tell you what it is. The front cover looked like it had a lightsaber, and I was happy. Then I got nightmares, gave you the video, and then you loved it.
And I watched it twice every day for a long time.
You did, yeah.
I think for me the biggest selling point was, one, I had a big thing with like traditional Japanese things. So
Yeah.
like the way his, like, what are they called? The Amishi people. Tribe,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever that Ashitaka's from. So the way their customs looked at the beginning, like riding the elk, I just thought it looked so awesome. And the soundtrack. The
Yeah.
soundtrack is, I mean, just all of. Do you know what? Somebody tell me how you pronounce this in the
Studio
comments.
Ghibli or Studio Ghibli?
Yeah,
No idea.
I always think it's Ghibli because it's like it's a Japanese company. I try and think of it that way, how they would.
But then
say it.
when Americans and English people say it's Ghibli, like,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
know, but I always think that the native way that the native tongue would say it is the correct way.
I'm not quite
True.
sure
I
how they
don't
say it.
disagree. I'm just saying.
Yeah. But yeah, so I just want to throw them in there because I think they really deserve a bit of recognition. Personally.
Yeah. And your number 5?
Do you want to do your list first?
No, it's fine. Mine will be not that bad.
K-On!
Oh, I've heard of it.
Animation was really good.
It
The
was.
music's really good. The characters are amazing.
Is that the anime where it's like a girl
Yeah,
band
yeah.
type thing? Yes, I remember
really
you were
good.
obsessed with that.
Yeah, well, I actually only got halfway through season 2, and my
Hmm.
ex stopped enjoying it, but we were watching it together, and I kind of just like fell off watching it, and I was enjoying it, but now I like can't really remember it.
I've watched it all twice, and I've watched the. I think
Movie.
there's only one movie.
Yeah, yeah.
I've watched that once. It's
I
weird
wanna
to go to
finish it.
London.
Hmm.
I think there's like 2 songs that are really similar. You got Fua Fua Time, and there's another one,
Yeah, some that sounds similar, I think.
and then you've got
You
like.
know when you
Love is a
mentioned
Staple or
Clannad?
something. Yeah.
When you mentioned Clown, you didn't even mention the one part. Dango.
Oh, I didn't
Dango.
mention it.
Jesus.
I was just talking about how good the story is. Dango Dai Kazoku.
Yeah, that one.
I just
Yeah.
when you were watching that, I could.
What was the I know we don't want to say the full name of the song, but what was the mashup? It was a song from a certain rapper, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. Was it Busta Rhymes?
I think it might have been. It's a mix of a Busta Rhymes song. It has a word in it. We're not going to say, obviously.
It was Dangoma, racial
Yeah,
slur.
and then but the weirdest part of
It
that
worked
mashup,
so
it worked
well.
so well.
It was really good. Like, honestly, search it. Okay, don't think of it as some kind of racial thing. That's just how things were back in the day.
Yeah,
Probably still are now, to be honest. I don't really follow that kind of thing. But yeah, it's amazing. But
anything
yeah,
else about K-On?
it's
Sorry,
okay.
not to take it
I
away.
mean, the story's fun. The pacing's good. The animation's great.
Yeah.
Uh,
Moogie's eyebrows look like pickles.
there's a really cool tortoise or turtle. I'm never sure which
I don't know
which
what.
is which, but I
Oh,
think it's the snapping turtle.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's what they
yeah.
call it.
Yeah.
And he's cute.
Yeah.
So
What's the teacher called again?
Sarako. The lead of
Yeah, yeah,
Kimi
yeah.
ni Todoke. That's oh, I remember that because
Of
Kimi ni
Kimi ni
Todoke
Todoke.
would easily be in my top manga.
I really enjoy it as a romance. I'll give it that. It's different, sort of. I believe it's kind of different.
Yeah.
I also really enjoyed as a romance Dengeki Daisy. So
Yeah, I mean, I like most things where the main character's different and awkward. Probably projecting, but I tend to like those things. And I've noticed a tendency to write them
Yeah.
in my own work, which is something I'm probably going to have to work on. But
fair enough.
Mm.
So, moving on to Mr. Ryan's list.
I'm taking it away from a top 5 because I can't pick. I'm just going to name animes because you two have watched extensive amounts. Where to pick in the top 5,
I've watched
it's
a lot less.
it's
than
much
other
more worth you picking the top 5 than me because my top 5 is going to be probably 5 major
people.
ones
Sword Art.
that everyone knows.
the animation was good in that.
The Sword
It
Art.
was at the beginning. It got a bit
Sword Art
lazy.
is really good. It just wouldn't be in my top 5 per se, but it's an anime I'm going to
Sword Art was
mention.
actually going to be in my bottom 5.
I haven't watched it all.
But that's purely, I've got reasons that I would go into. But we'll do another episode for least because we're already running quite long. So
Mm. So my top anime would probably be like Bleach mentioned,
yeah,
Naruto, Shippuden to an extent. This is my thing. I can't say, oh, these animes are great because there's always going to be a point where I'm like, this was terrible. Fairy Tale fillers, I skip them all, but I love Fairy
Yeah,
Tale.
but-
Separate between the manga and anime because the manga for Naruto is great. It's amazing. The anime,
well,
Yeah.
Naruto Shippuden is
If you're going to ask me my number 1, it's clearly Fairy Tale. Like, I've never sat there. I used to do night shifts at Asda.
I remember.
And I've never been in a night shift in my life where I've gone, I need to go home and watch Fairy Tale. I need to fucking do it. I need to go home and put on those episodes. I won't even sleep sometimes. Like, coming
Okay,
off a
fun
night
fact.
shift.
I tried Fairy Tale, and I struggled to get into it. I watched a few episodes, went off it, went back into it, watched like 50 episodes, went off it again. And Ryan tried it and didn't like it that much.
It wasn't I didn't like it.
You said you were
Me
falling
and-
asleep or something.
I fell asleep because I was doing
Well,
night
anyway.
shifts. And I was with my girlfriend, Zoe. God damn it,
He
I
was
did
like,
it again.
"Oh, I don't know if I'll carry on." I was like, "Trust me, man."
They got to the island part at the beginning
What,
and then I just
Temujin?
fell asleep. And then 7 episodes
that'll
passed.
be the one with your moon drop.
Yeah,
Oh.
the moon. Yeah, the moon drop.
Ah, right.
I mean,
But,
for me, I was being my normal judgmental self, like Fairy Tale, as in our fairy tales. Like, oh, that's just sounds stupid. And then, like, for some reason, I was sleeping
Except it's
downstairs.
spelt
I
different.
think my room was being redone. So I was like, it took me like a year before I realised how it's spelled. But I was like, you know what? It's popular. I'll give it a read. Holy fuck, I got obsessed with it.
Yeah.
So, you know.
So where was I? So there's Fairy Tale, Sword Art. One that wasn't mentioned by you two, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood,
Was good.
which
Oh,
was
it's purely
fucking
because I haven't
amazing.
actually finished it yet.
It shocked me at how good that actually was.
Yeah.
Like the first season, I was like, okay, yeah, this is pretty cool, and then it just gets better and better and
Yeah.
better and builds, and then the payoff is actually,
I actually
worth
watched
it
the
for a
live
change.
action.
I haven't
need to-
watched that yet.
It's on my
It's actually
Netflix list.
surprisingly almost.
There's a Mob Psycho
Canonical.
100, which could have been on my list actually. Mob Psycho 100 live action on Netflix.
Is it?
It's a
Oh, yeah,
season
yeah.
follows the the anime exactly from what I know.
It
Because
was.
it's been like a year since I watched Mob Psycho. I'm like, I'll give it a bit of time.
I watched the
Watch
first
it.
episode and didn't enjoy it. I stopped.
I think it's really good. Same off as One Punch Man.
Yeah, I know. That's why I tried the first episode and I just didn't like it.
It's basically
One
a
Punch,
psychic
One Punch Man would be
Saitama.
another one. One Punch Man would be another one that I like.
Again, that'd be on my manga though.
Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress was one that you Scott recommended and I thoroughly enjoyed. People who like Attack on Titan hated Cabaneri, and then people who love Cabaneri aren't fan of Attack on Titan.
I literally think that Cabaneri is the perfect thing to tide you over to the next season of Attack on Titan because it's the same thing.
It kind of is, yeah.
Literally is identical. The main character has the same thing where he's,
Yeah, messed up.
I'm trying
by
not
that.
to spoil either of them,
Mhm.
but the main character's the same as the main character from Attack on Titan. It's got the same thing with like there being another thing attacking humanity, and then like the main character having some kind of upper hand in some way. It's really hard not to spoil things. Music's by the same people, the story's the same, the characters are very similar. It's like it literally is. Sorry,
Hiroyuki Sawano did the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really tempting me to watch it now.
Watch what?
I would watch it. It's like
Oh yeah,
isn't it
it's
13
literally the whole
episodes?
thing's identical. Same
I kept
art,
putting it off.
same
because
soundtrack, same story, same characters.
Shingeki is a bit heavy, and I'm for the last few years I've been kind of like trying to stick with lighter stuff.
Cabaneri can be quite heavy, I think.
Yeah, so it's like that's why I've been putting it off. But if Hiroyuki Sawano did the soundtrack,
Oh yeah, the soundtrack's amazing, and the opening I believe was Supercell. Could have been Supercell. Was it Supercell?
No idea. Don't pay attention to the openings. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm just gonna...
I'm not like you. I will listen to the opening once, and then once I'm hooked on an anime, I'll skip the opening.
Yeah.
I tend to watch it like once, or if
Yeah.
it's good enough, I'll keep watching it.
I watched it all the time, like Digimon, which is another thing. Digimon would always be in my like top 5 till the day I die, probably. To be honest, Wargreymon, hype. There's a one that you two have probably watched, and I know Scott's watched it because he recommended it to me. That was mentioned. Another. That was a really good one.
Am I correct in thinking that's
The Final Destination. Yeah.
I'm not
Type
gonna
of-
watch it.
Yeah,
That's
another.
Too heavy for me.
Yeah,
really
I remember you showed me the scene
Yeah,
with the
let's not
umbrella.
walk downstairs with umbrellas.
Yeah, no, voting
Yeah.
that.
Why?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty
Do
sure
you
I've
ever-
seen that in random gifs and whatnot.
Yeah, it's
and I'm like,
amazing.
nope,
Yeah, it will be.
nope.
Don't you like Higurashi?
There's also the teacher with the knife.
I thought you liked Higurashi.
I've avoided that like the
3
plague
seconds.
ever since I. I've avoided
Could've
that
done
like
that
the
quite.
plague ever since I first started watching those AMV Hell YouTube
Yeah.
poop things.
Yeah.
It's just like
There's the
it's
teacher
too
with the knife as well.
Yeah.
And yeah. That anime was like, whoa. It was an experience in other words.
Another was it wasn't it like they had to find out who the extra in the class was.
Yeah, that was it. And then it was quite a
It was
shock.
really interesting. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if you could class it as horror. I think it was more like mystery thriller.
If you had to
Suspense
class
thrill,
it, it would be the
Yeah.
Final Destination of anime.
Yeah, it was.
That's
pretty
all it
much,
was. Except there was a way to stop
Yeah.
it.
There was.
I can't, on the top of my head, like Shaman King. But then, for me, it was always cartoons. So like The Legend of Aang, The Legend of Korra,
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't class them as anime, can you? Because they're made by
I think
American
they're
studios.
anime-esque cartoons.
Well, if it's a thing, anime is just cartoons from a different place.
Yeah, it's just like
I
That's what I
separate
mean.
them because it's easier to separate between Western.
I
and
separate
Japanese
them
stuff.
purely
So-
because cartoons are a very different style. But I feel like Avatar and things like that were
Legend of
really-
Aang really did
they were more
teeter towards the
Eastern
anime.
style.
Well, that's the thing. They take anime more seriously, but over the years we've been getting cartoons which are beginning to take themselves seriously,
I don't know. I haven't
and
seen
that's
that many.
when we get things like Avatar.
Avatar.
Sonic X.
Wasn't there a kid called like Christopher or something?
Yeah, and he was like great friends with
Yeah.
Sonic.
Well,
And then he builds like a fucking machine to go to Sonic's world in the 4th season. It's fucking great. I love Sonic X.
I've
It was
never
so
watched
good.
that far.
I remember it being on after school, so it's like I saw
Yeah.
a few odd episodes here and there.
Yeah.
There's one where he gets literally beaten the shit out of by Eggman. And then the kid has to like he takes the Chaos Emeralds out and literally nearly kills him just to throw them to Sonic. And Sonic's like, yo, I'm Super Saiyan now. Gone.
That really old one, I think it's called Sonic Underground.
Yo.
Oh,
They
man.
had siblings who had like freaking
Yeah.
guitars.
Those siblings have
Chili
never
dogs and
come back.
music.
Yeah, let's get some chili dogs.
Yeah, Sonic was Chili Dogs, and then he had a brother who could play drums and a sister who could play like the piano guitar thing.
The Sunny quote.
Guitar.
Die, motherfuckers.
Maria. That's the thing as well that Sonic X did well. Is they did Shadow Story like perfectly.
Because
Sonic Adventure-
2 following Sonic X.
I can't remember which one followed which.
I'm sure
I
it
think
was-
Sonic X might have followed Sonic Adventure
Yeah.
2. I think it was the
Oh,
other way
is it?
around. Yeah, because didn't the Dreamcast come out like
Oh, I don't know when the Dreamcast came
like
out.
late 90s, early 2000s? So
No,
Sonic
it was
X.
before that one.
Sonic X was like
Dreamcast
05,
was
so that
early
would have been way
2000s.
later. Could have been.
Fuck, I don't know. I think it's because I never had one. I always thought it was before my time. I think it's just
There
because
was
I chose the PS1.
But they were always at that wacky warehouse where they had like crazy taxis.
Yeah.
And
Fucking great.
stuff. In terms of anime, looking around your room, I'm not really seeing anything.
Anime posters.
Tokyo Ghoul was good for the first season.
Yeah.
Like,
I much prefer the manga.
Oh, I've been trying to
Oh,
read
yeah.
it. I got to
It
chapter
probably didn't
37.
help that I couldn't find an uncensored version, but they also
Hmm.
mixed up the events that happened and stuff.
Yeah.
And I just preferred how the manga. Well, probably because I read the manga first.
I mean, I have a
it's
lot
probably
of anime.
just that bias for having read it first. But you know, that's what I preferred. And then Tokyo Ghoul Re. I'm not quite sure what. I got very confused with the story about that.
Yeah, me too. It
And then
doesn't
the
really
art
explain
style
much.
got really.
And I got to like 3 episodes before the end. It's just stopped. I don't care.
I mean,
Oh,
Tokyo
well.
Ghoul Re, the manga art, Katakyo Hitman Reborn towards the
Oh
end.
man, I forgot about Reborn. That was so good.
And a few others I've seen, as they get the art improves, they start adding more and more details. And like, it looks great, but it can be too much. And I'm just like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, yeah.
I've just remembered an anime, Akamega Kill.
Akamega
That started great.
It started
didn't
good
it?
and it
It
just
was like,
went.
oh my god, this is so brutal. It's amazing.
And then the ending.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a thing that I weren't a fan of about the anime. Some of the deaths did matter to me. Like Mina, I think
And they
was one of
introduced that
them
one
maybe.
girl and kill her off like a couple episodes later.
Yeah, where
Yes,
they
I
put
know
her
exactly.
head in the square.
That's what I consider one of the most
And
brutal
I'm
anime
just
deaths of
sitting
all
here
time.
like, you are literally pointlessly killing people for shock value. You can't. It's like, oh, I can't
Yeah.
write. What can I do to get people to watch? And that
You
was
get
my
that a
problem
lot in
because that
comics
it doesn't
these
happen
days.
in the anime. I mean, it doesn't happen in the anime. It doesn't happen in the manga. And then they kill off. I don't. You know what? It's a filler. I'm not. I don't care. If you didn't watch it by now, it's your problem. They kill off the main fucking character in the last episode, and it's like, well done, because that was actually pretty popular, and you've just fucked yourselves over.
I mean, you get
Yeah.
stuff like this in like Marvel and DC comics, because you know the superhero trope, nobody dies for long except
Yeah,
Uncle
yeah.
Ben, and even him comes back.
I
Who's that? Pokemon. Uncle Ben.
Basically, you know, basically,
it's a nice suit your
because-
husband make it for you.
because you can't get the shock value from characters dying anymore, they start going really just horrendously dark.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you
yeah.
remember the Blob, the really fat mutant?
Huh?
You
You
may
mean the
not-
movie?
He was in the movie.
Look
yeah.
out! It's the blob. He's right behind
In
you.
one of the comics,
Don't worry, I'll save you.
he eats the wasp,
Oh,
and he's like tastes like chicken.
Oh, I actually have seen that. When I was searching
They've
up
some
like different
really
comic book scenes.
ridiculous, unnecessarily, just shock
Doesn't-
value.
Doesn't Ant-Man like beat the living shit out of him after
I
that? or
don't know.
something?
I actually got this from a
does this happen in the movie? Ant-Man
No.
vs. the Wasp. I haven't. Look, all I know is
Would that happen in the
talking about
movie
the
now?
Wasp. I don't know. I haven't seen.
If you
it.
type in top 10 like most brutal scenes in like Marvel comics, that'll
just
be
to
one.
just to clarify, I don't like comics. Oh, that's
Whose is that? Oh god damn it! It's just over there.
man's not on silent.
I've been reading loads of comics recently,
worry
so
about
I
it.
remember particularly. But
So yeah, I don't like comics. I like the Marvel movies.
I could
and
do a podcast on the comics, like what I like and dislike about them, but because they're very different to manga.
That's my biggest issue with comics is there's no real starting point.
I'd love
It's
to.
hard to do that, yeah.
I'd love to have a chat like where we just talk about like the most controversial moments. So like for instance with DC, there was the death of Jason Todd
Oh,
in Batman.
the most controversial thing about that, I think, is the fact that the readers voted to have him killed.
Yeah, that's the greatest part.
Yeah.
Because what happened? Oh, fuck it, we're talking about it. Dick Grayson was obviously
Yeah,
Robin
yeah.
before Jason, right? So they eventually made Dick into Nightwing to move away from Batman, and then in doing so, they introduced a new Robin, Jason Todd. The viewers hated him so much that they were like, all right, then we'll put it to a vote. You can either vote to have him killed or have him saved. And it was swung by like a 52% to 48% margin of him being
Yeah.
killed. And then the Joker, the Joker uses his biological mom to lure him out, to then kidnap him, to take him to a facility in like Russia or something ridiculous. Then beats the living shit out of him with a crowbar, laughing while he does it while Batman tries to find. Yeah, it's really brutal. While Batman tries to find him, and then the moment Batman gets there and about to save him, he blows up the building, killing him.
You know, that's not as brutal as the story you told me the other day, though.
Which story was that?
Where
So
he
I've said
got
a few.
psycho.
the laughing Batman. Have you heard about this?
Is that the what's that comic?
It's the Joker.
It's obviously it's an alternate universe in DC where the Joker gets killed by Batman, but his toxin leaks out onto Batman's face, sending him batshit crazy, and he essentially becomes the Joker, but as
And it
Batman.
like melts his face.
I was
Yeah.
thinking of a different one. I can't remember
Yeah.
what it's called.
Killing
So
Joker.
the brutal story I told Scott, I know this is going to comics and all this crap, but you know what? Screw it, I'm doing it. Because the Batman, he has a contingency for everyone in the Justice League. So you've just made a Joker out of the man who could kill all the Justice League. So he wipes them all out, minus Superman and Superman's son, then drives them insane with like a certain kryptonite, and leaves them in a room with Lois.
Lovely.
And they're conscious of what happened, so they just literally rip her apart
Yeah.
and like kill her.
That is so brutal.
And one more is Spider-Man, where he becomes a zombie.
Well, there's the whole zombie Marvel universe.
No, sorry, Spider-Man with Sandman. There's that one. Sandman.
Is that one where he captures that one grain?
No, he goes into Spider-Man and bursts him from the inside.
Oh
out.
yeah.
Heard of that.
I was like, oh my god, that is so fucking brutal.
Also, the fact that Sandman's first defeat was a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
Spidey's just like vacuum cleaner. Whoa.
Can't be as bad as Meet the Spartans, where like they tried to do a Sandman as like a joke, and then a dog shits in the sand, so it's like on his cheek. He's like, oh, get it off. Sorry to bring this back to anime. I can't think of any other ones really. There was one I did have, but I've lost it now. But
I mean, I've been doing this for like 10, 12 years now, so there's so many I've forgotten.
Yeah, happens. I mean, one of the first anime I watched when I started properly getting into it after like reading Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff was Blood Plus.
I never finished that.
I never finished it. Got to a point where the main character Saya becomes like
Really
really
dull and
angsty emo teen, and I was just like, and I'm done.
one I watched the other day that I really enjoyed because it takes a while to get into, and you'll know what it is. Your Lie in April.
Oh
watch it.
yes, I actually forgot about that, and
Going
I
back
loved
to
it
Blood Plus,
to the point where I still play piano every day because of that anime.
Hans Zimmer did the music for
Yeah.
Blood Plus.
Well, it was he did some of it. It was a mixture of him and Mark Mancina.
Mancina,
Yeah.
Mm.
But it was like you can hear Hans Zimmer in it,
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
and it's just so good.
I mean, let's just go to the pinnacle of the soundtrack, Diva's theme.
Yeah, they go full like opera.
Yeah, you were
It's like-
obsessed with that.
At one point, I was playing Halo, right, and I put Diva's theme on, but I forgot that Xbox, if you select the song individually, it plays it on loop. Took me about 4 hours to realise, and I was just
Oh
like,
my god.
"Oh yeah, I'm going insane."
Oh yep, there's my sanity.
shit!
I'm out of stuff now.
Blank.
Yeah,
Foreign
kind of.
blanks.
I was thinking of making a joke.
Ordinal Scale as a movie for Sword Art was alright.
Haven't seen that.
Haven't seen it.
Still.
I haven't watched the Full Metal Alchemist movie.
I haven't watched any of
That
it.
was the one. I've just remembered it. Sorry, Blue Exorcist.
Oh yeah, that was.
Well, but then it's filler ending, which there was
That's on my
retcon
least
for season
favourite
2.
because of a filler ending.
Yeah, but they.
Yeah, but
retconned
season
it.
2
Yeah,
retconned
but I
it.
haven't watched that, so I can't comment.
Well, it is from what I watched of it. I watched a few of the episodes.
And do you know what? Fuck it. Shout out to High School DxD.
Okay.
It's just DD. Or whatever.
say the X in
You know, it's like
I'm gonna
Hunter,
say the
Hunter,
X.
Hunter X Hunter.
Yeah, but it's Hunter Hunter.
Yeah, exactly.
No fucking.
I'm saying the X.
I said Hunter Hunter earlier. I get
It's
it.
etchy, right? But it has a story.
I fucking
and that's
hate
what it matters.
Etchy.
He's purely in it for Kaneko.
Who is?
Yeah,
No, I'm not. I'm in it for
Rias. That smile says it all.
I tell you,
I really wish we had a camera because that was gold.
I tell you, I've passed on so many different anime and manga because it has etchy in the genres.
and Yukiko at times.
I
Sorry.
actually can't remember who that is. I still need to rewatch it. It's been
Yeah,
so
please
long
do.
since I've seen season
I
one.
need someone to talk to because you need to understand,
That
man.
was my next thing I was going to watch after Haikyuu, but I couldn't remember what it was, so I didn't start it yet.
Yeah.
I was like, I know there was something. But... Oh, and the reason I didn't is because, you know, I'm gonna have to use some BS website because Crunchyroll doesn't have it.
It has on Funimation.
Yeah, but I can't afford to pay for
I know.
Funimation.
I was just letting you know.
You can't afford to pay for Crunchyroll. You're using mine.
Hey, let's not be like
So
that.
are you.
No, he's not, is he?
Every now and again.
You got my details to give them to Ryan.
Oh yeah.
Every now and again. By every now and again, I mean academia.
Yeah, I keep going to academia. I'm like, someone stopped watching this halfway through.
That ain't me.
That wouldn't be me. That ain't me
Maybe,
either, because I'll
maybe
finish
it's not
it.
on PC thing, so it's just starting. Because for
Yeah.
video player on you use consoles, I use laptop.
Yeah.
It's atrocious.
What
As I
is
told you, you can't rewind. You have to try and move it
on
back,
computer?
but it keeps jumping back to where it was.
Yeah, I've heard Crunchyroll's having a lot of problems with that, and they're having a problem with the whole, like, they've done something controversial recently. So instead of, like, using money to update their system to have, like, better HD quality and better subtitles, obviously,
Yeah,
they've now, like, they've now, like,
Full
put money
cowling.
into this American thing, like, that, like, has nothing to do with them or something ridiculous.
All they
and
need, they've got a problem on console. Like that, there's them issues for PC, but on console you can't. Sometimes a new episode will come out and it will say the episode came out 4 hours ago and it won't be there and you can't watch it on console.
Yeah.
Happened with Attack on Titan at one point. Sometimes you have to wait a full 24 hours before it comes up.
Yeah,
I tend to watch it stuff late anyway. But like, as I
It
said,
depends. The
issues
two
with
things I don't usually wait for is Academia and Attack on Titan.
like issues with the subs. Midoriya's technique, full cowl. He even says full cowl in English. And they add an ing onto the end. The subs for no reason. And that drives me nuts because it sounds bad.
yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Doesn't bother me.
Full cowl. So much cooler.
I don't know about that. It depends on the context.
It's your preference,
Yeah, that's
really,
just your
for that type of
I
thing,
mean,
to be
it
honest.
I
could
understand
be
that
my-
if he doesn't say it that way, that okay,
Yeah.
it could be annoying, but it doesn't bother me. And full cowling is cooler in my opinion.
Maybe it's, again, maybe it's because I read the manga where they translated it
Yeah,
accurately.
maybe.
But I think just the ing ruins it.
Yeah, I mean, what I was saying something about Crunchyroll.
Right, unless we've got something else to say, maybe we should wrap this up. Because I'm done with my list. I generally have named all the anime that I liked. So-
All the anime you've ever liked.
Pretty much,
Really?
yeah. I can't think
I
of
mean,
anything else.
nobody mentioned Elf
High
and
School of
Lee.
the Dead. Alphin. Oh
That's not on
fucking
my
hell!
list. That's
It's
too,
not on my list. I
It's too
like it
heavy.
a lot, but it's not on my list of tops.
I still haven't watched episode 1.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Me and you watched episode 1, didn't we, Ryan? And
Yeah,
then
we
we
did.
went and started watching them with Steve, but he never went back and watched episode 1. So he's kind of watched the whole thing with
I
that.
know bits of it and I've seen scenes.
Episode 1
so I
is
know what
literally just
happens.
naked Lucy.
Can I say
going
that
to murder her.
That Alphin lead, I went and actually read the ending, and my
Yeah, because
fucking god, what a
it
shit
ends really
ending that is.
cliffhangery on the anime, doesn't it? Like
Yeah.
Remember.
she sort of just like appears outside the door and
Yeah. So what it's basically her ringing the doorbell. It ends, and then in the manga, it's like you're really stretching it, which is ironic
do the
considering how it ends.
cousins ever bang?
I can assure you that they probably
He's a
did.
person interesting cousins banging.
What is it she says? No, she says that they're sat at the kitchen table and she's like, do you want to try sucking on my breasts? And I
Oh
was just
my
like,
god, I forgot about that.
what?
There's a reason why I avoid that. There's a reason why I avoid that.
That is that shit never really happens, and then all of a sudden that comes out, and I'm like, where did this come from?
The thing about Alphin Lead is, and I've shown it to Zoe as well, I was like, right, we're going to sit here, we're going to watch the first episode. We watched it, and I was like, okay, now you know the anime. Next anime.
She just looks over. Why are you hanging your pants? No reason.
Blood. Lots of blood. No, because episode 1 obviously has the whole, like, Lucy escapes, doesn't she?
So
And,
it's
like,
just her
killing
in a
everyone.
helmet, murdering everyone,
Yeah.
and then she gets shot in the head.
And then especially when you tell your girlfriend, she's like, yeah, so it's invisible hands that just kill people. And she's like,
So, do you like puppies?
this was great.
And then you're like, she's
Yeah,
like,
don't
yeah.
even.
And then you're like, well, prepare to watch them happen.
Then we're going to watch John Wick.
Hey man, John Wick was fucking good.
I need to watch them. They're on
I
my
know.
They're
list.
actually good. I kind of
They're
just thought
fucking
they were
amazing.
Like, standard action movie. They were just going to be same old. But everyone hates on Keanu Reeves acting. I think he's great.
No, acting's great.
Remember them?
It's pure action, like, in a sense, but also, like, there's a purpose to the action. It's not like, I will find you, and I will cook you. It's more like, you killed
You know
my
what?
dog, you son of a bitch.
Taken 1 is good. I've never watched the ones
I've
above
never
that,
seen
but
Taken.
apparently they're really bad.
It's one of those that, like, everyone went on about because of the meme, obviously.
Yeah. pretty much.
But one of my favourite things to come out of Infinity War was we need a man to get rid of Thanos. And he's like, who killed my dog? Thanos is sweating. Yes, so shall we...
On the topic of memes, there's one I really like at the moment. There are Christopher Robin things coming out.
Yeah.
And it's like taking Star Wars quotes.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
just,
I saw one
it's
of them.
like, hello there, General Kenobi. And then Pooh's got 4 lightsabers.
Yeah.
And there's Pooh standing on a table. No, I have a high ground. It's amazing.
But yeah. Right, so I'm presuming that's us all done with our lists, unless you have any movies to add, Stephen.
Most of the movies I watch are movies of series.
So no standalones.
I don't think I've ever watched a standalone.
You've never watched a standalone.
It's on my. I've been meaning to. I just never get around to it.
So you got Studio
got Wolf
Ghibli
Children,
films.
frickin' anything Studio Ghibli, whatever.
I'm gonna go through them at some point.
My Name, Your Name, Whose Name, Line. Whose line is it anyway?
Good show.
That's a good show.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
We
But no,
synced.
Your Name is that is a definite need to watch. And generally, any of they didn't look the best to me, but any of the recent Shinkai Makoto films,
Okay.
he's got another one, Garden Summit. I can't remember what they're called. I haven't seen it myself, but I want to watch it.
I fully intend to watch some. So.
But yeah, so we'll wrap up this subject. We've had a great time discussing our favourite anime. Hopefully we'll get together soon and do a least favourite. I know we've talked about a lot we don't like.
I've
But
already got the list.
yeah, he's got his list made.
He's
I
got
love
his
it.
list.
He's checking it twice. But I'll probably think of something. that
Did
I'll
we
like.
mention Death Note?
No.
It came up in passing.
We
but
came
we
up that I was a
haven't spoken about
weeb.
it.
All right, it's good. It's a great gateway anime.
Yeah, basically.
Gateway
There you
anime,
go.
don't watch Netflix. It's getting a sequel.
I need to watch
Kill
it.
me.
The fact it's got a
It's
fucking
getting
I
a
need to
sequel
watch
coming.
that. It's on my list because it
No, you
almost
don't.
got my brother to try it. Try anime.
What did?
And my god, he would
Death Note
hate
movie.
anime. No, fuck off. It's nothing to do with.
I
Oh
know.
my
I was
god.
like, watch it, please. Maybe I could talk to you about it.
That
later.
movie actually made me want to just sleep and never wake up.
That's my day-to-day life.
All right, Mr. Depressive. Moving on. Well, we're not moving on. We're moving to the end of the tunnel. I can see the light. So, this is the
There is
end
no
of our
light.
discussion on anime today.
Kingdom Hearts.
I said Phoenix Cast, but I think we're calling this series Phoenix Anime.
It's Phoenix.
It's called
anime, yeah.
Phoenix Anime.
Phoenix Japan.
No, Phoenix Anime.
Cool.
Screw
Phoenix
you,
Japan
Steve.
sounds stupid when you say it out loud.
Yeah, it does actually.
Yeah. It's one of those things that sounds better in your head.
Phoenix Nihon! Which I've never, when they say Nihon, right? That's Japan. But then, technically, doesn't that mean two book? I thought Han was book.
This is the end of Phoenix Anime, ladies and gentlemen. I'm ending this now.
Hey,
right.
hey, don't you hijack
You can't
my
end
host
it. If
capabilities.
you can't end it, I fucking
Okay,
will.
so this has been Phoenix Anime. I hope you had a fun time listening to us talk shit for the past hour and a half. And we'll see you next time. Peace out.
Bye bye.